Or was I not? What the heck is going on? I was fine a minute ago. So I'm sorry. This was about the huge problem in the modern day space, especially in the so-called red pill space, which is showing deep fissures in hypocrisy. Okay, we have men, you know, loudly telling other men what women must do, how women must live, what wives must bring to the table. They got to be traditional, which is while their own lives don't really reflect any of that at all, because most people are modern day people, and you're not going to get too many traditional women. And if you do, they're acting. They're acting. They are acting so they can be chosen. And a lot of these men who come on here and present this content, right? They're not married. Some of them ain't married. Some of them are married. Many never married the mothers of their children, which is a hypocrisy. Many have scantily clad wives or girlfriends while preaching modesty. And many demand purity, discipline, submission, accountability, but don't model that stability, that fidelity, or consistency themselves. And all of that matters because standards mean nothing if the messenger who presents it doesn't live by those standards. Leadership means nothing if it's selective, and accountability means nothing if it only ever points in one direction. So as we watch this video that we're gonna put on screen, I'm gonna put on. As we watch this video, I want you to keep in mind what I just said regarding the hypocrisy, what men say and do. Not to attack the man personally. I'm not attacking the man personally. I'm not doing that, but to evaluate his ideas. This video claims to be about leadership, protection, and order. But throughout this video, we're going to ask a simple question. Are these standards about building healthy relationships or about controlling women while excusing men the way to go or the way they're trying to go? Because I can't take any movement seriously that tells men to demand what they themselves do not practice. We're going to pause the video and then we're going to talk about some of the things that this person has to say. It is not about hating men and loving women and X, Y, and Z. This is not about shaming women. This is being honest. About being honest in the relationships. So here we go.
We've seen before. If you don't vet carefully, you're setting yourself up for a lifetime of chaos.
I mean, for you never.
I mean, you know, right?
Oh, I know.
Just down the street.
Just someone I know,
Today, I'm breaking down the 14 critical things every woman must bring to the table if she expects to step into your life. No exceptions, no excuses. This isn't about being controlling. It's about being smart, protecting your peace, and safeguarding your future. If she can't bring these things to the table, she's simply not wife material, period. So in this video, you're gonna learn the 14 non-negotiables every woman should bring to the table in 2025. I'll also cover the common excuses women will use to avoid meeting these standards and exactly how to respond to their pushback.
See, this is the thing. The out the gate, this is promoting fear. Like they have men moving in fear. This is what I don't like of the red pill content, because they always have men moving in fear, chaos, lifetime consequences. This is important because fear shuts down the critical thinking piece in relationships. Then women are framed immediately as risks to be managed, not people to be understood and talked to. Notice how resistance from women is assumed. That's a natural assumption upfront, meaning disagreement is already framed as a problem between men and women. That tells you this isn't about mutual selection. This is about enforcement. So,
Fellas, A bare minimum a woman should bring is a high school diploma or GED to the table. This isn't about being elitist. It's about setting a standard. Basic education is a sign that she can complete tasks, think critically, and comprehend the basic concepts needed to navigate life. Studies from the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics show that individuals without high school diploma earn 20% less on average than those with one, limiting their ability to contribute financially or build a stable household. History proves this point too. For example, during the 1960s, Black families achieved incredible economic progress when both men and women pursued education as a collective goal. But without basic education, those opportunities shrink, and poverty or generational struggle becomes the likely outcome. As a man leading the household, it's your responsibility to ensure the woman you choose is educated enough to teach and nurture your children. If she doesn't value education enough to complete the basics herself, that's a red flag. She won't bring foresight into your family dynamic, and as the leader, it's your job to make sure everyone, including her, is properly equipped. Remember, fellas, demanding a diploma or GED isn't unreasonable. It's about protecting your life, your legacy, and your future kids from failure. Anything less reflects poor judgment. And if she can't bring this basic qualifications to the table, it's a sign she's unprepared to take on the role of a wife or mother. Think about this, fellas. Uneducated households struggle with poverty and lack opportunities to build generational wealth. Without a basic level of education, how will she manage the household budget? How will she understand the importance of discipline and structure? These aren't just nice to have. They're non-negotiables for the success of your family. You also have to consider this. If she doesn't have this qualification, what example is she setting for your children? Children model what they see. And if their mother didn't prioritize her own education, they're more likely to repeat the same mistake. Now, I gotta warn you, you're gonna get some pushback for this requirement. And you may hear things like, not everyone has access to education. It's 2025. Access to education has never been easier. High school diplomas and GED programs are free or inexpensive in most areas. If she's out here dating, if she's capable of getting dressed and getting herself ready to date, she's capable of dictating time to getting this qualification. Tell her to use that same damn energy to walk down to the schoolhouse and complete the program. It's the least she can do. Now, some women might say you're being elitist by making education a requirement. This isn't about elitism. This is about basic preparation for life. A diploma or GED shows discipline, accountability, and follow through, all critical traits for a partner and mother. If she doesn't have it, it shows she didn't prioritize it. Why should you gamble your future on someone who isn't prepared for even the basics? Now, some women out there that's going to say education doesn't determine a person's character or worth. Character and worth are important, but they don't replace practical skills. Men are judged by what they bring to the table, and education is part of that judgment for women too. It's about building a solid foundation for your relationship, and education is part of that structure, period. Now, how should you move forward? Fellas, you're the leader of your household, and leadership starts with setting standards. Demanding basic education isn't controlling, it's leading. Without it, you're setting your family up for an unnecessary struggle. Don't let her excuses sway you. Stay firm, and if she can't meet this requirement, she's not the one for you. If she's not willing to put in the work to earn a diploma or GED, how can she expect you to commit your life, resources, and energy to building a family with her? Remember, this is the first step in vetting.
See, education matters. It does matter. I get all of that. It does. But this isn't that encouragement that women and others, the spouses, need. It's a disqualification. Okay. And he positions men as overseers and of women's readiness for life or marriage. That's not really a partnership. It's like a hierarchy. And a lot of people present that on this internet as though it's supposed to be man, woman, X, Y, and Z. And most relationships don't work like that. Most relationships are on equal footing. A diploma does not measure parenting ability. It just does not. Emotional intelligence or moral character. Okay. And notice the hypocrisy. Many of the loudest voices demanding this don't model long-term commitment or stability themselves. We have to really look at the messengers who are speaking on here. You really have to remember what they find is priority may not be your priority. Keep going.
It only gets tougher from here. Let's move on to the next point. Fellas, this one's simple. If she's been previously married, she needs to provide a divorce decree, no exceptions. Why? Because legally and spiritually, she's not free to commit to you unless her prior marriage is fully dissolved. Without it, you're setting yourself up for legal drama, emotional baggage, and potential adultery. This is about clarity and protecting yourself. Exodus chapter 20, verse 14 says, "Thou shalt not commit adultery." If she's still legally married, even if separated, being with her puts you in direct conflict with this principle. Add to the baggage of unresolved emotional issues, or even the possibility that she could reconcile with her ex, and it's clear this is non-negotiable. She must be fully free to commit to you before moving forward. Fellas, think about this from another angle too. Giving her time and space to finalize her divorce is actually showing respect to her ex-husband. The Bible calls men to be courteous in how they deal with others. And stepping into a situation that's still unresolved can make you a distraction from a reconciliation that might have worked. If she can't show you the decree, then she's not ready, and neither should you. Now, there's going to be some pushback, and some women are going to say this feels invasive. Women sometimes lie, intentionally or unintentionally. A divorce decree isn't about mistrust. It's about confirming the facts. You wouldn't want to discover you've been dating someone who's still legally married after months of years of commitment. This is about being proactive, not reactive. And you got some women out there that's going to say, why do you need proof? Just trust her. If parents require marriage documents when their daughters get married, why shouldn't a man require the same proof for his future wife? Trust is built on clarity, not blind faith. Now, you'll have women that say divorce papers aren't anyone else's business. Legal matters are always someone else's business when marriage is involved. Men need to protect themselves from unnecessary drama or complications. If she can't meet this standard, she's not ready for commitment. Now, how you can move forward is make this a non-negotiable. If she pushes back, that's a red flag. Protect your peace, your purpose, and your reputation by ensuring she's fully free before stepping into a committed relationship with her. It's not about judgment. It's about being smart. A clean slate for her equals a clean future for you.
So clarity before commitment is reasonable. That's a reasonable thing. But this is framed as immediate compliance or suspicion. Scripture right here is being used as a tool of control, not guidance. Healthy relationships allow context, timing, conversation, of which he's not allowing. Demanding proof before trust exists doesn't create safety. It creates defensiveness. Yeah, I'm already feeling some type of way if you're demanding that I show X, Y, and Z. Safety is the word. Safety is the key.
Let's move on to the next point. Fellas, one of the most important steps in vetting a woman is understanding whether you're truly compatible. A compatibility quiz is the perfect tool to help you assess this. It forces both of you to confront what matters most: relationship goals, values, sexual expectations, conflict resolution, communication styles, and more. The quiz results give you a baseline understanding of where you align and where you may clash. If she refuses to take it or dismiss it as unnecessary, that's a huge red flag. If she's serious about the relationship, she won't hesitate to take the quiz. This isn't about control. It's about clarity. The quiz helps identify potential issues that could surface later in a relationship, and it sets the stage for meaningful conversations. If she's unwilling to take it, she's either hiding something or not invested in building a strong foundation with you. Like, imagine investing years into a relationship only to find out you have a major difference on things like parenting, finances, or intimacy. A compatibility quiz can help you uncover those differences up front, saving both of you time, energy, and heartache. And fellas, this isn't just about red flags. It's also an opportunity to strengthen the bond, addressing any issues early on.
Right.
Now, you're going to get some pushback for this, so this is what you're going to expect. Why do I need to take a quiz? You should just get to know me naturally. That's true. We'll get to know each other naturally too. But the quiz gives me a keen understanding of your mindset on key areas like values, conflict resolution, and communication.
Right.
Fellas, you got to know that people are on their best behavior during the first year or two of dating. And what you can say to her is, this quiz helped me uncover what I'm really dealing with so I don't waste time being deceived by your representative. Now, she might say this is unnecessary. A quiz can't tell you everything about a person. The quiz isn't about telling me everything. It's about starting meaningful conversations. If you take it, you'll see how important and useful it is. You might even realize it was necessary all along.
Right.
And she might look at the quiz and say the questions in the quiz are probably biased. Not at all. The quiz is designed to focus on critical aspects of relationships like trust, communication, and values. It's not about attacking anyone's character. It's about measuring compatibility and identifying areas to work on. And you might have women that says, what if the quiz reveals something that makes you walk away? Isn't this a waste of time? If the quiz reveals major incompatibilities, that's not a waste of time. It's a blessing.
Wow. You really pulled that thing together, babe. My God. How you feel?
Good. Feel good. A little nervous, but I feel good.
It actually helps both of us dodge a bullet before getting too emotionally invested. Compatibility is key to a lasting relationship, and this step protects both of us. Now, I gotta warn you, you're gonna have some woman that says this feels controlling, and relationships shouldn't require quizzes. Here's what you should say. Asking for a compatibility quiz isn't control, it's leadership. Right. Women expect men to lead, and this is how I lead responsibly. By proactively ensuring we're compatible, we avoid unnecessary drama down the road. If you're insecure about taking a quiz, maybe the problem isn't the quiz, it's what it might reveal. Now, how you can move forward. This quiz isn't about judgment. It's about building clarity, trust, and alignment. If she's unwilling to take this simple step, she's not ready for the kind of relationship you're offering. Don't waste your time, fellas. A serious woman will value the opportunity to strengthen the bond through understanding and communication. A woman who dismisses this quiz isn't serious about you.
Well, he says compatibility quizzes are essential, and refusal is a red flag. Early dating is deceptive. The quiz reveals truth. Leadership requires enforcement. I get all of that. This is one of the few ideas with merit. Talking about values early is a smart idea, but once refusal equals guilt, it stops being about compatibility and becomes about obedience. Compatibility isn't measured by compliance. It's measured by how people handle the disagreement. So this is what he does not equate with what you say. This is a strict timeline. When do you take the quiz? When is it necessary for the quiz? Early, in the middle, once the attraction is there, and you know, when do you take this compatibility test? All these things have to be explained.
She's serious about wasting your damn time. Let's move on to the next point. Fellas, in 2025, one of the easiest ways to understand a woman's mindset is by checking her YouTube subscriptions. This will give you an unfiltered insight into her values, her worldview, and the type of advice she's applying to her life. For example, if she subscribed to creators who preach entitlement, hypergamy, or man bashing, does she follow channels telling women they're goddesses or deserve to be worshipped? These subscriptions reveal who she listens to and the ideas shaping her behavior. This isn't about being invasive. It's about being smart. People consume content that aligns with their values, and if her subscriptions are filled with creators who pander to toxic ideologies, that's a red flag. But here's the catch. You need to check her subscriptions on the spot. If you give her time, she might unsubscribe from creators you wouldn't approve of just to appear agreeable. Imagine finding out after 6 months that your woman is actively taking advice from Shara Savin, who tells women to treat men as ATMs, or Yada Awakening, who says women should demand $50,000 up front just to date them.
Oh, just because clearly she wants some physical attention.
Now, what if you would be like, you want to sleep with me? $50,000.
Facts.
Because that's advice you would give, right?
Listen.
These creators plant seeds of selfishness and entitlement that will poison your relationship. Checking her subscriptions isn't about control. It's about protecting yourself from women who bring toxic mindsets into your life.
My question is, I noticed the woman said she saw the signs. So if you see the signs before your kids come into a picture, how much is this self-inflicted? Me looking from that.
I said I didn't see the signs until after we were married already, so we were already invested as a family at that point.
What But what I'm hearing is that your kids, you had kids after you got married, right?
Yes.
So you said in the beginning of the marriage, I think in another video or maybe even a day, you said in the beginning of your marriage, he was pretty much sexually violated.
I think shortly after we got married, and this is something that I haven't talked about, I started noticing like certain things changed with him. And I just started to see a few things that I didn't like. But I honestly thought that some of these were things that I could get past.
So what I'm seeing is that you knew that this man was offensive or abusive, but then you went on ahead and had kids with him. So that means that for me, you put your kids in danger.
I think that that's the narrative that you want to put on the situation, but that's not the reality of what it was. And like I said, I was very heavily manipulated by scripture. He, would use it. He would gaslight me, and after I hadn't even had, I don't even know if I was pregnant yet.
See, I'm sort of with Darwin when he says that. Look, I'm not blaming you. That's not what I'm blaming. What I am saying is, once you started listening to Shira 7, that's not a game over there. Shira 7 is not a game. Her content is not a game. That content is meant for strong-willed women. I'm not going to say it any more clear than that. That content that Shira 7 puts out is for strong-willed women. Women who know how to follow through with hard choices without complaint. And most people cannot follow through without complaining. Most people cannot follow through with a hard road. If you know you're going to take a hard road, most people don't know how to do that. So Shira 7 is not for every woman. Either way it go, this right here, this whole section is surveillance logic. This is not a wisdom thing. The assumption is deception, or a woman is going to be deceptive by default. This is what the section is about. No trust exists at this particular point that he's talking about. What makes this dangerous is that there's no acceptable response from the woman. Hesitation is guilt. Transparency is still suspect. Change is manipulation. Healthy adults are allowed to consume content, any content in which they want. This is a difficult subject for a topic for me, because I'm such an independent human being, and I was married for 30 plus odd years, and me and my husband never ran into this stuff that they speak about online, because most of it is understood in marriages and relationship. These kind of things should be understood. So my husband never came to me and said, don't get online and start watching that. He never even looked at my history. I never even looked at his history. He could have been talking to 1,000 women. Never even crossed my mind to look at his history or him to look at mine. Okay. Healthy adults are allowed to consume content however they wish to consume content. That's the whole point of being in a relationship with someone. The trust should be there. You shouldn't be dictating what I look at. And I would never allow myself to be in a relationship where someone would dictate anything about me personally. You could suggest, but you can't dictate. So most people can think critically and they evolve in the relationship. So some of us don't need that. Some humans need to be told what, I hate to say it like this, but some humans need to be told what to do. Some humans don't know how to act. Some humans don't know how to conduct themselves as a husband, as a wife, as a helpmate. Some of us know how to act like that. We don't need that kind of guidance. We love to have the guidance. We love to have the guardrails, but we don't need you to be there. We already know how to stay in the lines. So policing media habits, policing your spouse's media habits doesn't protect relationships from straying, from cheating, from acting up, from acting out. It creates secrecy and resentment, because I'm going to be angry if you come over my shoulder and tell me I can't watch X, Y, and Z. I'm going to resent that. No, you don't get to tell me what I like to see. If I like to see gay porn or whatever, you don't get the right to dictate what I see or what I like to have in my social media. Okay? A relationship built on monitoring will never produce peace. Never. Let's continue.
After the last time it happened. So, in every other way, he was a good man. I didn't think that it was worth throwing my family away, or the family that we were trying to create, because he had done those things. And unfortunately, I didn't realize that that would mean that he would go on to abuse his own children. I don't.
See, here's the thing. If he abused you, why didn't you think he would abuse the children? And why would you think a person like that would be fit enough to build a relationship with? A person that is abusive automatically is not fit to build a relationship with. If you know up front. And I know a little bit about this story because, I remember when it blew up. You just ignored the red flags because he had money. Because you didn't want to be a statistic having a baby by a man and then leaving a man. All of that was twisted up in the middle of it. But you didn't have discerning quality. But let's continue. Let me stop. We ain't talking about her. We're talking about Darwin's advice.
I don't know how someone would correlate the two.
The things that most victims will tell you on the other side of healing is that nobody is judging or critiquing them more, and nobody is suffering more than the victims who are going through the experience.
Well,
So
the reason
asking questions are important, but asking them from a place of objectivity is even more important.
Well, the reason
And Darwin, we're gonna let you close out here so we can get to the other callers. But go ahead, brother.
The reason why I frame my question like that is because she believes in what I believe in. I believe in God. So she gave me a source of a way to hold her accountable when she start saying God this and God that. And if you read the word, you would know that sexual immorality or physical abuse or anything like that is pretty much grounds for divorce. And that supersedes any type of gaslighting or emotional manipulation. If she's so grounded in the word and scripture, that actually supersedes any of the other offenses this man put towards her. And that's the reason why I frame my question like that. Because if we're going to call ourselves spiritually driven and backed by biblical principles, started as my son in background, we have to be unwavering. We have to be unwavering. And that's the only reason why I frame my question like that. But my sorrows goes out to you. I hope that you can heal from this. And I appreciate you, Dr. Spirit, for talking to the lady.
I appreciate you as well. And please understand, for everybody that may be in the chat tonight, I want you to understand that it's not about defending anybody. It's not about debating anybody. The only thing that I want to do is offer as much clarity as possible, because I want us all to be our best selves. And I wish that more pastors had Darwin's perspective. I wish that more church members had that perspective that says be unwavering in support of victims, because most folks who are working with church folks who are being wounded by their partners, who are being wounded by their spouses, who are being wounded by family members, if we were unwavering in abuse and we protected and stood up for one another, we wouldn't have victims stand in situations trying to take it to prayer closets, praying it away, acting like it doesn't matter, being ashamed and keeping that trauma a secret. So here, healthy, however we have to find it.
So this abuse story is discussed. The young lady, she was a fan of Shira 7, and Shira 7. If you know Shira 7, She is one woman on here who has a huge following in which she tells women to manipulate men because that's all men are, is wallets, and that's what they're supposed to do, is take care of women. The big sheer follower, this lady. She got into a situation, married a man, and found out the man was abusing her children. Right. Okay, so we had accountability tied to scripture in this section. We had delayed leaving is questioned. Okay. This section is very concerning. Abuse doesn't announce itself up front, and manipulation is eroded when the judgment comes into play. So manipulation erodes the judgment slowly. Fear is distorted, and it distorts the decision-making capabilities of this young lady. Okay, so spiritual pressure traps people a lot. The Bible traps people a lot. When accountability turns into you should have known better, it becomes victim blaming. Okay, so we're not going to do that. Survivors already punished themselves enough, more harshly than anybody else ever could. So accountability without compassion is cruelty. And using religion to justify that cruelty damages people and faith communities alike. So this was a dangerous section right here. I hate to, hold people to a fire, and it's like, I would never have done that. I didn't want to do that, blah, blah, blah. So let's move away from the subject, because this was a real sticking point for a lot of people, this particular woman's life. And we came down just like the Minnesota shooting, we all have a side, we all picked a side, and blah, blah, blah. So let's move on.
Now, you already know you're going to get pushback, and I want to show you how to respond. Women are going to say things like, you're being invasive. Subscriptions are private. Well, this isn't about being invasive. It's about understanding who influences you. If you're serious about building something with me, you'll want me to understand your mindset and values. If you have nothing to hide, why hesitate? Then you're going to have women that says, it's just entertainment. My subscriptions don't define who I am. Entertainment shapes how people think and act, especially when it's coming from creators who claim to offer advice. If you're consuming content that aligns with toxic values, it's likely shaping how you view relationships. This isn't a small thing. It's a major insight into your mindset. Then you have women say, men don't get judged for who they follow, so why should women? Actually, men are judged for the creators they follow all the time. There are entire lists of red flag creators women don't date men for following. If I'm vetting you for marriage, I need to know what ideas are shaping your values. This isn't about control.
If I'm dating you for marriage, I need to know if you're if you're a grifter or you for real. Some of y'all just say a lot of things.
It's about discernment. And you have women who say, why does this even matter? Actions are more important than subscriptions. Actions are important, but subscriptions show the ideas that influence those actions. This step isn't about micromanaging you. It's about ensuring we're equally yoked before building something serious. Now you have women that says, this feels like control, not leadership. Women tend to confuse control with leadership. Checking your subscriptions isn't about telling you what to do. It's about making sure we're aligned. If we follow the same creators.
Nope, it's not a matter of confusing control with leadership. This kind of thing is control, because it assumes that a person doesn't have the wherewithal to make decisions on their own, specifically women. And women seem to crave something. In order to get a man, to keep a man, you feel as though you have to give up some kind of autonomy in your regular life. That's not necessary. It is not necessary, because all of us are grown adults at the end of the day, and you're supposed to make yourself the best that you can make yourself. And this is the thing. Everybody has to assume that the person is adult enough to make themselves the most optimized self. And this is what you look for when you date a person, to see if they've fleshed out their life, fleshed out the things that are make them the best version of themselves. When you find broken people shouldn't be in relationship. If you're a person that, see, HQ I would never deal with a man who just has a GED. I would never deal with a man who just wanted to be happy working at McDonald's, or a man who, you know, every time you turn around, he's always buying a used car instead of a new car, instead of doing the adult thing and buying a new car where you don't have to worry about it breaking down. See, I look at these things when I want to get involved with a person. I look at how their life is optimized out. You're an adult. You should have a car. You should have a home. You should have, you know, your shit in order. Your bathroom should be stocked. These are things that I look for in relationships. And a lot of people don't look for those things in relationships. I don't care whether I'm attracted to that person or not. When you walk into a room full of men or women, there's a whole bunch of men and women in that room. And that's the way I look at it. You're in a city full of women. There's got to be a compatibility. There's got to be an attraction. You've got to be attracted to at least 4 or 5 different women or men, and then you date those 4 or 5 different people and see who is compatible with you, who has more of the markers that you want. And you notice whether their life is optimized or not. Okay? Don't pick broken people to be in relationships, because then you got to learn to fix those people. You may not even be fixed. So you don't look for people that you have to fix. See, I'm going from a perspective of I'm looking for whole people, not people who need work.
Or align on values, that only strengthens our bond. Now, how should you move forward? Fellas, her subscriptions are like a window into her thought process. If she's unwilling to be transparent about them, that's a red flag.
No, that's not a red flag. I'm not going to hide my subscriptions, but I'm not going to offer them up as a proof of loyalty, as a proof of trustworthiness. Okay? If you just happen to go and look at them and see them, that's fine. But I'm not going to say, you're not going to say to me, you need to present your subscriptions, because I don't care. And I don't care about yours. And there is a boundary around every human being. Every human being has a boundary around them. Okay? Every human being. My boundary is don't stand so close to me. I'm uncomfortable when you stand so close to me. Okay? Just standing there. I'm uncomfortable with that. That's like a personal boundary. Asking me immediate, intimate questions within a minute of meeting me. That's a boundary. See, everybody has a boundary. Everybody has a place where they are uncomfortable immediately. And nobody has the right to invade that, even if you're married to somebody or in a relationship with somebody. Nobody has the right to violate that. Okay? And he's saying my intimate thoughts, my intimate desires, my intimate covets, things that I see and want to experience, I'm supposed to reveal those to you in the form of my media history. And that's a part of the boundaries that are crossed for some people. Those are the personal boundaries that people have. Okay. And it's too intimate.
A woman who values accountability and alignment will see this step as reasonable. At the end of the day, you're protecting your peace and your purpose by vetting carefully. If her subscriptions raise red flags, it's better to find out now than after you've invested months or years into the relationship. Let's move on to the next point. Fellas, if she's a single mother, this is absolutely non-negotiable. She needs to provide a certified copy of her child support order and payment history. And when I say payment history, sometimes the man is not on child support. She can provide proof or evidence that this man is taking care of his child. Why is this important? because this step ensures you're not walking into a situation where her child becomes your financial responsibility by default. If the father is contributing financially to the child's upbringing, it shows that she's already holding him accountable for his role in providing for their child. This isn't about being harsh or judgmental. It's about clarity and protecting yourself. You need to understand what it takes to care for her child so you can assess whether you're ready to take on any additional responsibilities. Ideally, if the relationship becomes serious, you'd be contributing to half of the child's expenses, while the biological father continues to handle the other half. That's fair and balanced. But if the father isn't contributing, you need to know that up front so you're not blindsided later. This step also ensures that she's taking accountability for a situation. If she don't have a child support order or payment history, you have to ask why. Is she enabling the father's irresponsibility? Is she relying on you to step in as the primary provider? These are serious red flags that need to be addressed before the relationship moves forward. Think about this, man. Single mothers often promote the idea that they're a package deal, meaning you have to accept both her and her child. That's fair, but only if the child is already being financially supported by the biological father. Walking into a situation where you're expected to shoulder the financial burden of another man's child without clarity or accountability from her is a recipe for resentment and disaster. On the flip side, a woman who already has her finances in order, including proper child support from the father, it shows that she's responsible and capable of managing her life. This makes it so much easier for you to assess how you can step into a supportive role without being taken advantage of. Now, I gotta warn you, you're most definitely gonna get pushback for this one. But here's how you can respond. Women are gonna say things like, "This feel like you're judging me for being a single mother." Okay. It's not about judgment. It's about responsibility. You made the decision to bring a child into this world, and that comes with accountability. This step ensures I'm not stepping into a situation blindly. If the child is already being financially supported by the biological father, then this shouldn't be an issue for you to provide.
And that's the thing. It has nothing to do with the father. As long as she has everything lined up in order, even if she's the only one taking care of that child, that should not be a burden. Even if she's the only one taking care of that child. It's just the relationship that everybody has to straighten out. The relationship with the father. The relationship, you're having a relationship with her. You're not having a relationship with the father. And I get all of that. But see, they don't say what kind of relationship they have with the mother of their children if you get involved with them. That's always an issue too. But, that's never addressed. It's always about whether you have children or not. It's always about that.
If anything, it should give me a peace of mind that the child is well cared for. And you'll have women that say, "Why does this matter? If I'm handling my business, you don't need to see that information." It matters because this is about transparency. If we're building the future together, I need to understand the financial dynamics involved, including the child's expenses and the role of the biological father. This isn't about prying into your business. It's about making an informed decision about how I fit into this picture. She might say, "You're making it sound like my child is a liability." Well, a child isn't a liability, but poorly managed finances are. If the father isn't contributing, that's something we need to address before moving forward. This step ensures the financial responsibilities for the child are clear and that I'm not being set up to take on a burden I didn't create. It's not about the child. It's about accountability. Now, she might say this feels invasive. Why should I share this with you? Transparency is critical in any serious relationship. If you expect me to potentially take on a stepfather role, I need to know exactly what I'm walking into. This step, it's not about invading your privacy. It's about ensuring that we both understand the financial dynamics before making any major commitments. Now, she might say not all fathers pay child support, and that's not my fault. That might be true, but it's still your responsibility to ensure your child is fully provided for. Now, let's say the father isn't contributing. That's something you need to work on before bringing someone else into the equation. It's not fair to expect another man to step in and take over that role if the biological father isn't being held accountable. Now, how can you move forward? Fellas, requiring a child support order and payment history isn't about shaming single mothers. It's about protecting yourself and ensuring the child is properly cared for.
See, this is child support is supposed to be there. That's required. Children are framed as a liability. Mothers are questioned for the enforcement of child support. Calling children a liability exposes the heart of this whole shebang. Everything is reduced to risk management. Yeah, financially, clarity matters. I get that clarity matters, but real life is messy, messy, messy. And courts fail, people fail, humans fail. Co-parenting can involve safety concerns. I get all that. Systems are not fair. Adult relationships require conversation and empathy and shared decision making. This is like an audit. It's very suspicious. You're suspicious from the day one. And this is very difficult for women to get past. It's like you want me to have total accountability. It's supposed to be total clarity in relationships. And relationships are not like that. It's messy. Relationships are messy. Specifically messy between mothers and fathers. Okay. This is the problem I have. One of the problems I have with this.
If she's still resistant to this step, it's likely because she's either enabling a responsibility from the father or looking for someone else to take over his role. Don't compromise on this. It's critical for clarity and peace of mind. At the end of the day, you need to ensure you're entering a relationship with full transparency. A responsible single mother won't have any issue providing proof that her child is already being supported. If she can't meet this requirement, you need to walk away. Protect your peace, fellas. Let's move on to the next point. Fellas, if a woman has a father in her life, you should demand to meet him. Out of courtesy and respect, her father's involvement in the vetting process is critical. Why? Because it ensures you align with his principles and values, and it builds a stronger foundation for the relationship. Her father's discernment can help you see things about her character that you might overlook in the honeymoon phase of dating. Think about it. If we had daughters, we'd expect the same courtesy from any man wanting to date or marry them. Meeting her father shows that you're serious and willing to honor the family dynamic. It also demonstrates respect for the men who raised her and gives them the opportunity to evaluate you as well. But here's the thing. If she resists or downplays the importance of her father's involvement, that's a major red flag. A woman who values family and principles will see this as an essential part of the process. A father's involvement in his daughter's life is one of the greatest protectors against poor decisions, impulsive behavior, and rebellion. Studies show that daughters with active fathers are less likely to engage in risky behavior and more likely to make logical decisions when choosing a partner. If she values her father's covering and approval, it's a sign she'll value your leadership as a husband. Now, you're going to get some damn pushback for this. She's going to say, I'm grown. I don't need my father's approval to make my own choices. If you fail to look to your father as covering, you'll likely fail to look at me as covering. God ordained the father's role as a protector and leader for daughters, just as he ordained the husband's role as a leader in marriage. If you don't value your father's opinion, how can I trust that you'll value mine? Relationships aren't individualistic. They involve families, and ignoring this dynamic leads to chaos in the home. Now she might say, what if I don't have a father in my life? That's understandable. But if you know the importance of having a father figure for discernment, you should have someone else who fulfills that role, like a mentor, a spiritual leader. It's not about the biological connection. It's about having someone in your life who holds you accountable and helps you guide your decisions. Now, she might say, why does my father's opinion matter so much? Shouldn't my own discernment be enough? Unfortunately, women's discernment alone often fails them because they make decisions based on emotion rather than logic. The word of God even advises against women building their house on their own discernment. A father's approval is one of the most critical elements of marriage, as it ensures you're entering the covenant with blessings and wisdom from someone who has your best interests at heart. Now, she might say not everyone has a strong relationship with their fathers, so this doesn't apply to everyone. That's fair. If your father is incapable of providing meaningful guidance, that's fine. But the step of seeking covering and counsel is still necessary. It ensures you're prepared to make logical decisions and enter a marriage with clarity. Whether it's a mentor, a pastor, or another trusted figure, this role should be filled. Now, fellas, how should you move forward? A woman who values her family will see the importance of this step. She will. If she has no father in her life, she should seek covering elsewhere. But if she outright refuses to involve anyone in the vetting process, that's a sign of rebellion, and you should take it seriously before moving forward. Fellas, meeting her father or a trusted covering figure is about more than tradition. It's about ensuring alignment, respect, and accountability. If she's unwilling to allow this, she may not value the role of leadership in your relationship. Let's move on to the next point. Fellas, the chances are high that a woman has endured some form of trauma in her life. With a growing number of fatherless homes and childhood dysfunction, these numbers are only rising. Rarely will you find a woman with a complete trauma-free upbringing. That's why, as a precaution, you need to ensure that she's addressing any unresolved issues through therapy. You should require her to provide the business card of her therapist or proof that she's actually seeking professional help.
This is wild. I understand respecting family is healthy. I get all that. Requiring permission is not. Adult women do not need authorization to choose a partner from their parents. I get that. But it would be a nice thing if they could. But that's not required these days. It was required before. They wanted to see whether you would be able to take care of a family, take care of a household, and be financially responsible. The burden was on the man. Calling independence rebellion is how control is normalized. That's what he's saying. Leadership is not dominance. Wisdom is not obedience. Healthy marriages require two adults with agency, not one authority figure and one subordinate. That's not how marriage works. Okay? That's not how marriage is supposed to work.
This isn't about judgment. It's about accountability. If she's currently in therapy, you should ask her what she's working on and assess whether her issues are something you can handle. If she doesn't need therapy, that's great. But you need to confirm that she's emotionally healthy before you step into a serious relationship. I want you to know that unresolved trauma doesn't just disappear. It manifests in relationships as emotional instability, trust issues, or even toxicity. By ensuring she's taking accountability for her healing, you protect yourself from becoming a scapegoat for her unresolved pain. This step isn't just about protecting your peace. It's about setting a foundation for a healthy, emotional, stable relationship. Now, you're gonna get some damn pushback. She's gonna say this is invasive. My therapy is private. Sharing this information isn't invasive. It's about transparency. Knowing that you're in therapy helps me understand what you've been through and what you're working on. If it makes you feel better, I'll gladly share my own therapist information with you. This is a two-way street, not a one-sided demand. Now, if she continue to push back, she might say, what if I don't feel comfortable sharing that right away? That's fine. If trust hasn't been fully built yet, we can revisit this conversation when the relationship deepens. But before we take the big step toward marriage, this is something I'll need to know. Emotional health is critical, and both of us need to be transparent about it. Now, she might say, are you trying to disqualify women with trauma? Not at all. Everyone has been through something, but unresolved trauma can ruin relationship if it's not addressed.
See, this section sounds reasonable on the surface, but once you slow it down, it becomes deeply problematic. Yeah, many people, many men and women carry trauma. I get all that. That fact is a truth. But the way trauma is framed here turns it into a moral deficiency that women must prove that they've corrected before they're allowed to be chosen. He assumes trauma is primarily a woman's issue, which already tilts the conversation unfairly towards men. Men experience trauma too: childhood neglect, abuse, abandonment, poverty, violence. Yet men are not being asked to bring proof of their healing, their therapy records, or explanations of their emotional wounds. That imbalance is what matters. Therapy is medical care. Okay? That's medical care. It is private. It is not a receipt. It is not something that I would be bringing to the table to explain to you. Asking someone to provide a therapist business card or explain the details of their sessions early in dating crosses a bound. That's a personal boundary I was telling you about earlier that most people would not accept in any other form of their life. So why would I give it to you? Because I would give that only to you in order to prove my trustworthiness, there would have to be another barometer for me to give you proof. We do not ask for medical records before deciding if somebody is worthy of a relationship. Unless something comes out as a really, really big red flag and your behavior is like very erratic, I wouldn't worry about those things. Mental health should not be treated differently. Another issue here is how resistance is interpreted. Discomfort with sharing private mental health information does not mean someone is unhealed or deceptive. It's often meant that they have healthy boundaries. And I don't want you to know all my personal shit. Emotional maturity includes knowing what information is appropriate to share at different stages of a relationship and when to ask for different information. Healing is not something that can be verified by paperwork. Healing shows up in behavior over time. It shows up in how somebody communicates, how they handle conflict, how they take on responsibility, how they apologize, and how they repair whatever harm that they have created. None of that requires a therapist's business card or you going to my therapist and asking X, Y, and Z. There's also a dangerous implication here that trauma must be completely resolved before somebody is worthy of love. I'm not saying the trauma has to be healed. That's not how human beings work. That's not how a relationship works. Healing is an ongoing thing if you have trauma. People grow into relationships, grow into maturity, not outside of them in isolation. They always grow within. Healthy partnerships often support continued healing. So they try not to demand perfection before a connection. Nobody's perfect. So this requirement that I provide my records of mental health, if I've been going to a therapist, it places men in the role of emotional evaluator and authority figure. He says men should be positioned as the one who decides whether a woman's healing is sufficient. That is not a partnership. That is power. Relationships work their very best when two adults take responsibility for their own growth, for their own personal pride, for their own optimization, not when one person is appointed the judge of the other person's emotional fitness, and then you have a say in whether I am healed or not, or when I'm supposed to heal. That's not how that works.
Knowing where you stand emotionally helps me understand how to support you and whether your healing process aligns with my leadership. And then you got the women that's going to say, what if I don't have a therapist? That's fine too. But if you experience major trauma, I'd recommend seeking one. Therapy is a tool for growth, and entering a relationship without addressing unresolved pain could lead to unnecessary problems. If you value the relationship, you'll value the healing process. Now, fellas, how should we move forward with this? Requiring proof of therapy or emotional health is about protecting your peace and ensuring you're entering a stable relationship. If she resists this step, it could be a sign that she's not ready to handle the accountability that comes with a healthy partnership. This step is not about judgment. It's about ensuring she's emotionally equipped to walk with you through life's challenges. A woman committed to personal growth will see the value in this step. Now let's move on to the next point. Fellas, if the woman you're vetting doesn't have a father in her life, she still needs to have a spiritual leader or a mentor who provides guidance and accountability. Why? Because without covering, a woman often lacks principles and standards for vetting a man herself. A mentor or spiritual leader fills that gap, helping her develop a clear understanding of what to look for in a husband and how to align her values with a man's leadership. A woman with strong covering will already understand the qualities of a godly man and won't bring unnecessary confusion or unrealistic demands into the relationship. But if she has no covering, she's vulnerable to the worldly ideologies and poor decision-making, which can wreak havoc on your relationship later on. If she doesn't have a father, make sure she has someone, whether it's a pastor, a mentor, a spiritual leader, playing this role in her life. Think of a mentor or spiritual leader as her foundation. Women without covering often fall victim to emotional decision-making, hypergamy, or secular ideas that run counter to building a healthy, lasting marriage. A strong spiritual leader holds her accountable, guides her to align with biblical principles, and ensures she's prepared to enter a marriage with clarity and purpose. Without this, You're walking into a situation where chaos and rebellion are more likely to follow. Now you're gonna get some damn pushback. You're probably gonna get some damn pushback from the rest of this video. She's gonna say, I don't need anything, or I don't need anyone to guide me. I'm growing and making my own decisions. A lot of women feel like that. If you were capable of making flawless decisions on your own, why are you still single? Discernment is critical, but it's even more powerful when paired with accountability.
Yeah, but see, the thing is, not everybody has to. You can have accountability for yourself. You don't need somebody else to hold you accountable. This is what I don't like. We got to be held accountable. You think holding a person accountable and they don't hold themselves accountable, this just breeds resentment. I don't understand why these men don't understand that people have personal boundaries, and I can decide when I'm healed, or if I can't decide when I'm healed, you shouldn't demand that I become healed. You should be helping me to realize that I need to become healed, not demand that I become healed, because that's a personal decision. And it's like, y'all don't understand. These things evolve. People grow and evolve over time, and they don't just automatically, I know I need therapy. I know I need to be healed. I know I need to do X, Y, and Z. That's not how people or things go. This is wild.
Think of this like visiting a pharmacy. You might know you need a prescription, but you still need the clerk to guide you to the right medication. Covering protects you from mistakes and helps ensures you're choosing wisely. Now, she might say not everyone has access to a spiritual leader or mentor. Access is easier than you think. The excuses only highlight why covering is so important. Someone with proper guidance would never believe that access to mentorship is out of reach. So start by searching online, asking friends, or reaching out to local churches. Churches are always looking to mentor women and bring them closer to the Word of God. If you like, I can even recommend resources to help you find covering. Oh, also, I provide covering. Now, she might say, why does this matter so much? Can't women vet men on their own? The truth is, women often make decisions based on emotion rather than logic. We said that. And that's not an insult. It's reality. Men are called to leave their father's covering and lead. Women are called to remain covered until chosen. Covering helps ensure decisions are grounded in wisdom and biblical principles, not fleeting emotions. Without it, you risk building a relationship on shaky ground. Now, she might say, what if I made it this far without a mentor? Isn't that proof I don't need him? Just because you survive without covering, it doesn't mean you thrive. Society
and just because you you say they need covering doesn't necessarily mean that they do. That's one. That's one and two. Religion is not for every human being. Okay? Every person doesn't need religion. Religion is a great thing for you. It may not be a good thing for someone else. Okay? So you have to make sure that the person that you want to get involved with is religious based. Some of us are not religion based. So therefore we know how to act without a book, without having religion, without having to be able to have this covering that you call that a religious mentor or whatever. See, this person makes a lot of assumptions that this will work, that everything is a standard playbook and then everybody follows it. People are messy. Relationships are messy. They are never how you want them to be, or they land exactly how you want them to land. Okay? Somebody might be religious and the person they get involved with might not. It may be very religious. 9 times out of 10, it may or may not work. I don't know. But you can't say that just because religion is involved that something is going to last. It doesn't work like that.
Today is working overtime to remove fathers and spiritual guidance from women's lives, leaving them vulnerable to poor choices and rebellion. If you value alignment and accountability, you'll understand why having covering is essential moving forward. Now, how should we move forward, fellas?
Not every person needs covering. There are people who know how to act without the covering. That's all I'm saying. I ain't saying nothing else.
Don't ignore this step. A woman with covering is already prepared to follow leadership because she's used to being accountable to someone else. If she resists the idea of having covering or doesn't understand the importance, it's a sign she's not aligned with biblical principles or the structure needed for a healthy marriage. A woman who values accountability will already have a mentor, pastor, or spiritual leader in her life. Or at the very least, she'll be willing to seek one.
Well, I'm just saying they don't necessarily need one to have a healthy relationship. I didn't need one. I didn't have one. I didn't need it to have a successful relationship because I knew how to be a good human being and be a good wife and be a good helpmate and be a good companion. So not all of us need that. That's something that people feel that they need. But if you're a good person and you know how to conduct yourself and you know how to take accountability inside of yourself for your shortcomings, you can be just as good as a wife and a companion than somebody who has the covering. You just can't be.
Don't settle for someone who rejects the necessity of guidance and covering. Let's move on to the next point. Fellas.
And you say it's a settling. It's not a settling. It's just a fact. Just like everybody doesn't need religion, everybody doesn't need marriage, everybody doesn't need a covering. It just is what it is. And most people don't have the covering. So let's not talk about the exception. Let's talk about the rule.
This step is absolutely critical. She needs to bring an update. She needs to bring an up-to-date background check to the table. The last thing you want to do is commit to a woman.
I know that a black man ain't sitting there talking about she need to bring an updated background check. He need to bring an updated background check. You all have you men, white men and black men, you all have the highest criminal record. You need to bring a background check to the table. Very rarely do women have to bring background checks to the table. They do if they have a past. But most of us don't have a past criminal background. So this is wild, but let him keep going.
Woman with a criminal history that could put you under the jail. No, I'm just kidding. The last thing you want to do is commit to a woman with a criminal history that could put you and your future family at risk. A background check ensures you're not stepping into a relationship with someone who has a history of violence, financial fraud, or even worse, false accusations of sexual assault. Here's the reality. False accusations have destroyed countless men's lives, reputations, and futures. You need to know who you're dealing with, and a background check provides clarity. This isn't about being paranoid, it's about being proactive. It gives you peace of mind and ensures you're not blindsided by legal moral issues after committing to her. Think about this. Imagine getting married only to discover your wife has a history of filing false accusations against previous partners, or she's been involved in criminal activity you never knew about. This type of information is something you do not want to find out after the fact. A background check helps you avoid unnecessary drama, legal risk, and potential harm to your reputation. Now you're going to get some pushback. Why can't you just trust me? Asking for a background check feels insulting. Taking someone's word about their past is a feminine thing to do. As a man, I operate from a masculine place, which means I need more than just your word when it comes to one of the most important decisions in my life. Unless you're perfect like God, I cannot rely solely on what you say. History has proven that blind trust leads to disaster, and I refuse to take that risk. Now, you're going to have women out here say that background check doesn't define who I am today. That's true. It doesn't define you, but it does reveal patterns. I'm not looking for perfection. I'm looking for transparency. If you made mistakes, that's fine, but I need to know what I'm walking into. The goal isn't to disqualify you. It's to ensure I'm making an informed decision. Now, you're going to have women out there that says this is a double standard. Are you going to provide your background check too? Absolutely. I'm willing to share mine because I believe in reciprocity. If I expect transparency from you, I'll offer the same in return. This isn't just one-sided. It's about building trust and clarity for both of us. Now, you're going to have women that says, why is this necessary if I never committed a crime? It's about ensuring peace of mind, even if your record is clean. Knowing this provides reassurance and allows us to move forward with confidence. A background check isn't just for catching red flags. It's about confirming that everything is as it seems. Now, fellas, A background check is about protecting your future. If she resists this, it's slightly because she has something to hide. Don't compromise here. This is one of the most important ways to protect your peace and your reputation. Trust isn't built on blind faith. It's built on clarity and accountability.
This section is framed as common sense, but it's like rooted in fear. I mean, and it's not balanced. Of course, people want to be safe. I get that. Nobody's arguing about safety. The issue is how safety is being defined and who's being treated as the threat. I, as a woman, is being treated as the threat. Notice that women are being positioned as potential legal dangers before they are even partners, before you even gotten down to the nitty gritty. The focus is not on mutual safety or shared transparency. It's on protecting men from women. That framing alone should make people pause and say, oh, hell no. I get it. The heavy emphasis on false accusations is especially important in these days and whatnot. False accusations do happen. I get that too, but they are statistically rare compared to actual cases. When dating advice centers fear of women instead of discernment about character, dating advice, it centers around fear for women or fear for men about women's character. It's training men to approach relationships with suspicion instead of wisdom and some kind of trust, which is what you're supposed to trust but verify. I get all of that, right? Calling trust feminine and verification masculine is another red flag that I noticed that he says. Trust is not feminine or masculine, it's a human thing. Healthy relationships balance trust with observation over time. Over time, you do not build safety by assuming that somebody is guilty. That just builds suspicion and deception. You build safety by watching the people's pattern, by their consistency, by their behavior. There's also a timing thing here. Asking for a background check early in dating tells me that intimacy will always be conditional and monitored. And not too many people want to deal with that. People cannot relax. We cannot be authentic with each other or build emotional closeness when I'm constantly I'm constantly at the same line of distrust with the man. Reciprocity does not automatically make this a healthy thing. It doesn't. Two people exchanging paperwork is still not the same thing as building trust between each other. Oh, okay, I'm going to show you, you show me, I'm going to show you, you're going to show, oh no, that still builds resentment. Okay? Relationships are not contracts. Love is not a contract negotiated under suspicion. So they are built, so relationships are built slowly, but this is not a way to do that. Through shared experiences, through trust, through honesty, through accountability, but that's over time. Me showing you my background does not make you trust me more. It's a time factor. Relationship building, trust building is a time thing.
A woman who has nothing to hide will understand the value in the step. Let's move on to the next point. Fellas, if she isn't providing for her own lifestyle, she better still be living with her mother and father. If neither of these things are true, you might be dealing with a scammer or a sex worker or a woman who's being sponsored by a sugar daddy, which, let's be real, it's just a glorified sex worker. A woman who isn't working or building something for herself raises serious questions about how she's surviving financially. To vet properly, confirm her full-time employment status or verify that she's an entrepreneur. A woman who is self-sufficient and capable of paying her own bills shows discipline and independence, which are necessary traits for any healthy relationship. On the other hand, a woman who's looking for a man to fully finance her lifestyle without contributing anything is setting the stage for resentment and imbalance in the relationship. Fellas, the goal isn't to avoid providing for your wife. is to ensure she's capable of handling her own responsibilities before you decide whether you want to take that burden off of her shoulders. Whether you choose to go 50-50, fully provide, or find a middle ground, that's up to you. But this step ensures you're not walking into a financial liability without your consent. Studies show that financial issues are one of the top reasons for divorce.
Yes.
If she can't even maintain her own lifestyle before marriage,
Right.
how will she handle the responsibilities for a household later on? You need to know whether she's financially disciplined or if she's living beyond her means. If she's reckless with her finances now, she'll likely carry that recklessness into your relationship, and that's a headache you don't need.
Yeah.
Now, I can promise you, you're going to get some pushback on this one.
Yeah.
I promise. You're being materialistic. A real man wouldn't care about my job. A real man? There's no such thing as a real man. That's just a phrase used to shame men into.
So why is it that we heard men say a man don't care about your job? You can be dropping fries. She can drop fries. I don't care what kind of job she got. She can be, long as she look good, she can drop fries. He's saying it is important. Jobs are important in relationships.
Accepting mediocrity. Men don't judge women based solely on money, but employment or entrepreneurship is about more than finances. It's about discipline, self-respect, and responsibility. A woman who doesn't value her own financial independence is more likely to bring chaos into a relationship.
And there you go, right there. Financial men are supposed to care about what women make, what she brings to the table. She's supposed to bring the responsibility of a job, of being able to manage her money, being able to manage her life. She's supposed to be able to bring all of those things. And no traditional woman is doing that. Because all women are traditional. I mean, all women are modern. Most people are modern. If a woman is doing traditional things, she's just straight up doing traditional things, she's got it sprinkled in to her modern day life. This is why I never understood the feminist argument. You as women are standing in the middle of the feminist movement, doing feminist things, being a feminist, and yet you have women on these panels who come on these panels talking 2-point crazy about feminism. Make it make sense. I don't understand. Make it make sense. We got to finish this section. Hold on.
Shit.
Uh-oh.
She's going to say, what if I'm unemployed but actually looking for work? That's fine. The key is that you're putting in the effort to become self-sufficient. If you're in between jobs or transitioning careers, that's understandable. But there needs to be a clear plan and consistent action behind it.
Right.
Effort is just as important as results in this case. Now, she might say, why does this matter so much if you're going to be the provider? It matters because I need to see that you're capable of managing yourself before I decide to take on that responsibility. If you can't handle your own bills, how can I trust you contribute to building a stable home? Being a provider doesn't mean blindly taking on liabilities. It means choosing wisely. Now, she might say, women have supported broke men before.
Mm-hmm.
Why do we have to prove ourselves? Ooh. If a woman is building a broke man, that's her choice. But no one is advising men to do the same. The reality is that men are expected to be financially stable by default. Mm-hmm. If I'm going to lead, I need a partner who knows how to manage her own responsibilities too. Otherwise, this becomes a one-sided relationship where I'm doing all the heavy lifting. Now, she might say this feels judgmental. What about women who don't work because they're caregivers or students? Right. If you're a caregiver or a student, that's fine. But it still comes down to whether you're contributing to your life in a meaningful way. If you're working towards something or fulfilling an important role, that's acceptable. Right. But if you're just coasting through life, waiting for a man to finance your existence, that's a red flag. Now, how do you move forward, fellas? How do you move forward, fellas? A woman's financial independence doesn't just protect her. It protects you. It ensures you're choosing someone who is disciplined, responsible, and capable of working towards shared goals. Mm-hmm. If she resists this step, it's because she knows she doesn't meet the standard. Financial issues can destroy relationships, Don't gamble your future on a woman who hasn't demonstrated the ability to take care of herself.
Hey, TJ.
Hey, HQ.
Hey.
So
We were reviewing Darwin's thing, even though
I've been listening for like the last 15 minutes. This section here,
right?
He's saying a lot, and it's very definitive, but there are things that he's saying within it that it's not an absolute, even though he's talking in absolutes. You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Like, I wish I was sitting here like taking notes, but one of the things that he talked about, like, let me go back to the statement that you said about, but you know, you constantly hear a man saying that a woman's money don't matter.
Right.
I think a lot of women get caught up on that statement and not necessarily focusing on why that statement is being made. It's more important about why that statement is being made than the statement itself.
Okay, break it down for us.
And I'm being very general because every guy's a little bit different on this, but in the consensus is that a woman having money, while it's important, it's not important to us because of the social responsibilities that we now have placed on men. I am of the belief that there's never been a time in our history in this country where it was our sole responsibility for the financial burden of the home. We've never lived in mass. We've never lived like that in mass.
Mm-hmm.
But the reason why a lot of men say that a woman's money is not important is because he's responsible for the most part for the family structure. Not that, and then most times now, women don't want to give up access to their money at all. I'll give you an example, and of course, this is just a personal thing, but it's it's an anecdotal example. Like when I got married to my wife was a high school teacher. She made, at that point, she was making about $65,000 a year. HQ, I was making about $35,000 a year when we got married. I was working in social services. She working in education. Those are not overly high earning, fields. You know what I mean? But so together we're at about $95,000 a year. You know what I mean? Worth of income. Right. And so when we got, and this is my fault for not really pushing this issue or bringing this up beforehand, but a few months after we got married, I was sitting down and I was doing the finances because I have a system. I've always had the same system forever. And when I married this lady, I was like 28 or 30 when I married her, you know what I mean? And when she was a few years older than me, and I sat down and I was like, when I was doing my personal finance, I said, oh, this is a good time to talk about finances. So I brought her into the kitchen when I was working on my stuff. And I said, hey, we need to start talking about how we're going to combine our resources. And she flipped out. She was like, I earn, and I think it has something to do with the fact that she earned more than me, more than anything else. She was like, well, my money is my money. I go to work every day and I earn that. And I don't want you asking me about my money. That was her. I should have dropped her then. You know what I mean? And that was a split. I said I was making about $35,000 a year, right?
Right.
I paid 100% of the bills in the house.
Oof.
So there was hardly anything left over. But I moved her into my house. So I was already accustomed to paying 100% of the bills. And then back then when I got married, it was like 2005, 2006. So household expenses weren't like what they are now. I wasn't paying a $1,900 a month mortgage. Back then it was a $700 a month mortgage, which for me was still a lot of money. You know what I mean?
Right.
Especially on $35,000 a year. But so I was paying all of the living expenses in the home at the time. And so because she flat out refused to even talk about, negotiate or anything, or come up with a plan about living as husband and wife under one, we were never financially stable. Even though collectively we made a good household income because we didn't have nothing in common.
Why didn't you ask her? Why didn't you ask her just flat out? Ask her. Boom, boom, boom.
Like before we got married,
Yeah.
it never crossed my mind.
It never crossed your mind.
Yes.
So
I'm gonna guess, HQ. I'm going to guess, and I'm retro guessing. I'm going to guess that at the time I thought that was just kind of like automatic. I'm guessing that's why I didn't bring it. I don't know why I didn't bring it up.
See, most men do. Most men do think.
Yeah. So there was no thought. Listen, prior to that conversation, there was another blow up because I assumed she was going to take my name. She didn't want to take my name.
Ouch.
And let me tell you something.
Damn,
I was her second husband. So she walking around with her ex-husband's name and didn't want to take my name. My marriage, it started out bad, HQ, and it never got better. So it took for me to get her to change her name. It took me being a complete and utter asshole. Back then, we still had house phones, so people would call the house and be like from the church, and be like, "Oh, can I speak to Sister Cotton?" And I'd be like, "Oh, don't know Sister Cotton live here," and I would hang up the phone.
Oof. Yeah.
You know what I mean? It was me doing stuff like that, or her job call. Hey, can I speak to Miss Cotton? No, Miss Cotton don't live here. I would hang up the phone. Oof. Because that was the truth. You understand what I'm saying? And so back to the income question. So that's why, because a lot of men says it doesn't matter because the social responsibility that we have now on men is the fact that you at the bare minimum are providing the basics of at least the basic living standard. The money is important. Her being able to contribute is important, but it doesn't determine if I make HQ, whatever your income is. Your income does not determine, it's not a factor if I want you to be my wife.
Right.
It's not I don't determine your fitness to be with me because of your money.
I think early on when you get in a relationship, everybody should be clear about finances, and everybody should be
the
clear.
moment that relationship turns serious,
right?
You guys got to start having those hard conversations.
Yes, you automatically got to have it. You got
the moment you start being exclusive, you got to go. Hey, we're about to be exclusive.
Not necessarily exclusive when we live together, or when it's exclusivity to commingle our finances.
The exclusivity. The reason why I say exclusive, because you don't even get to like the let's live together before you don't want to get to that point. Because if you guys are going to be exclusive, then you guys got to start talking about how you guys are, your do's, your don'ts, your boundaries, and your financial boundaries in the event that this move. If you don't have this discussion and you guys decide that you guys going to want to move together, and then you find out at that point that you guys aren't going to be on the same financial page, you guys have wasted already a year or a year and a half of time together. Right. If that's the deal, that's why I said at the point of we're agreeing to be exclusive, then you guys that's when the negotiations need to start. Because if I want to be exclusive with you, then this is because that means we're marching towards something.
Right.
That means we're marching towards something. So there needs to be your deal breakers need to be laid out. This is where I tell women, when you want to be exclusive with a guy, this is where you need to tell him, I want to be married. I want to be married in this time frame. You need to be doing that then. But no, people are not doing that, and they're wasting their time, and they want to get mad.
Because because a lot of women are afraid that the man is going to say, hell no, I don't want to get married. I don't want to marry her. And blah, blah, blah. Then guess what? Then you get to move on. There are men who want to be married, HQ. Yes. There are more men who want to be married than not. Right. And then here's the thing. This is what I tell ladies too. Then if you continue on with this man, you can't blame him for not moving the way you wanted to move because he already told you. Right.
He already told you. Then you move. I'm a firm believer in a guy being completely upfront with a woman.
Right.
Because don't take her choice away. Right. I call that when a man takes a woman's choice away, I call that stealing pussy. You stealing coochie.
And I'm the same way. I believe in show me all of your ugly parts first. And then give me the choice to take you and your ugly parts. I don't want to get shown the ugly parts after I done invested. I done invested in you. Like, you know how people, you show them all the good parts at the beginning, then all of a sudden we get married and now I can't handle pussy.
Yep.
Or now I can't, or now you spending all your money at the pool hall and you're not bringing all your money home because you got a coke problem or you got a drinking problem or you got.
I want to know all that up front.
I want to know all that up front.
HQ, right? I wanted to date this girl. Well, we were liking each other. Nice looking girl. Well, I can say for an ugly man, I don't think I've ever had an ugly woman. Not even close. Well, because I think
man. So
I think women find safety, emotional and physical safety with me. I don't play games.
But see, that's an attractive thing. That's an attractive thing all by itself.
Yeah. I don't play no fucking games. Look, the woman that I told you last night that I had to break up with, one point I asked her, I said, why do you like me? And she said, because you're rough, you don't play, and I know you'll defend me. She goes, I just don't like it when you're rough on me. I said to her, me being rough and tough and all this other stuff, I said, you're going to get that. That's not exclusive to other people. That's for you too. Because I got a standard. But, a lot of times, HQ, Lord, I lost my thought. I lost my whole train of thought. But, about being upfront with somebody, you got to tell them upfront. I told the lady that I was really into, and she was into me. Before we even went on a date, because I told her, I said, I'm telling you right now, I've been digging you since I've known you because you're built like a woman, and she's brilliant. HQ, I like a brilliant, smart woman.
Right.
She cannot be attractive, but as attractive or conventionally attractive, I like women with actual ethnic features. That's why I think you're gorgeous, because I like very ethnic features, and I like very smart women. Right. Because I can't be with a dodo head because, you know what I mean?
That would just drive me nuts.
Because listen, I think I'm a pretty bright dude, a pretty practical dude. HQ, I'm subject to say something or do something or think something that's completely, absolutely bonkers. And I need a woman who's smart enough, bold enough to tell me, that sounds stupid. Hopefully not like that, but, or be able to hash that out. But I told this lady up front, I said, listen, I want to be married. I don't want to waste no time. So we're gonna start dating or going out. I'm telling you what it's for. I said, and here's the other thing you need to know before we go further. Right. If I ever get married, I believe in the one pot rule. That was a deal breaker for her.
Right.
That was a deal breaker for her.
That everybody throws their money into one pot, and then we divvy up how we need to divvy up.
I told her, I said, if I marry you, the income that is generated don't belong to me and you. It belongs to the marriage.
Right.
That's what I told her.
Right.
It belongs to it doesn't matter who make it. It belongs to the marriage.
Right.
That's what I told her. She couldn't tolerate that because she was a very financially disciplined woman. She really was. And she has been a financially disciplined woman for 38 years of her life. So she has she been her own boss. What do you mean? I gotta what? You know what I mean?
Right.
And I told you at the beginning, I got a system. I got a financial system. Right. You know what I mean? That anybody comes in, this is what I wanted to talk to you about too, HQ, along the lines of what he was saying about when he said about that women need to bring their own money to the table.
Right.
And that it's a red flag if she's not maintaining her own finances.
Right.
HQ, I'm going to tell you this because I've seen it over and over and over again. I have come across decent women who require someone to take care of them, who need someone to take care of them because they're not good or stable enough or structured enough to be the financial disciplinarian. but they're good in every other aspect. They're loyal, they're faithful, they're, you know what I mean? They're smart, they're creative, but that part of them is missing.
Would you be comfortable? Would you be comfortable with that type woman?
Absolutely. If she's meeting, because what she's lacking, I can teach her how to run our business of the marriage. Even though I might be the person responsible for it, I can teach her over time how to function if something happens to me. I'm more into her focus and her attention being on me. She doesn't have to be what I am. She doesn't have to be that. If I got a woman who's into me, but she's a bit of a free spirit, she like to try this, like to try that, like to try this, like to try that. You know what I mean? She's always moving from idea to idea, pretty smart. But you got some people out here that's a little free spirit, but they're good to you. I can take care of that woman. That's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. I've seen it in the church. You know what I mean? Where they're good wives to their husbands, but these women, they might be selling pies this week as her hustle. She might be doing DoorDash next week as her hustle. She might want to go get might want to learn how to do some computer programming, and she turns. You got women out here who likes to try and dibble different things, but that doesn't mean that they're not going to be a good woman or good wife, because their characters intact and they care about you. There are women out here who absolutely need to be taken care of, and that's okay.
That would scare me. If I had a man, if there was a man I was involved with and he did that, and
no, you don't take a man like that. As a woman, you don't take a man like that. But as a man, it's okay to take a woman like that. It's okay. Because our requirements from a woman is different than your requirements for a man.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? Notice I said her requirements is to take care of me.
Right. Triple, where you at? Let me see if he in. Triple, are you in?
I'm here, baby.
Oh, okay.
HQ, I want you to take care of me. I want you focused on being this ultra conqueror of a woman in every aspect of the relationship. I want me to be your job. I'm your job.
So you're saying that money is not that important to you?
Money is absolutely important to me. That's why I earn it.
No, I'm saying her money is not that important to you.
I would hope that she would bring something. She doesn't need to go out there and conquer the world and slay a dragon. The dragon she needs to slay is me.
Okay.
If I get a woman that's bringing in her 45 or 50 grand a year, she's responsible, that's fine. I'm okay with that. But also the woman who needs to be taken care of is okay if her focus is you.
Right.
She doesn't have to be this financial generating machine. She doesn't have to be that.
Okay.
And that's the difference between what men value versus what women value, what men can accept versus what a woman can accept. You understand? So there's so Darwin is not, he's to sit there and just simply say that if a woman's not able to take care of herself like that, doesn't mean that she's a whore or this or whatever the case may be. I know about 5 women right now that I told them they're great. I think they're great women. I think they're going to be great wives for somebody. And I told each one of them, you need to go find a man that's willing to take care of you. So can be the.
Are you saying there's some women that are just put on? And this is not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. Are you saying there are some women who should recognize that it's not their? Well, that's a bad way to say it.
No, it's not. There are some women that should recognize that they need to be taken care of. It makes their, like, I got one specific girl in mind right now. Her life would be she's kind of disheveled because she can't get organized. But when you're talking about providing care, providing home, because I've watched her do this, providing support, like emotional support, loving, loyalty, you can't beat her at that. Okay, she can't organize everything well. She's a woman that needs to be taken care of. Somebody who can, I told her all the time, you need to go find yourself a TJ.
I remember this line I saw in this movie. And I can't remember the movie. I can't remember all of it. But this man and this woman were dating or something. And he said to her, you look like you need help. Or you look like you need me to take care of that. Or something like that, he said. And she said, that's good because I need to be taken care of.
And there's nothing wrong with that. As long as she's, there's nothing wrong with it if she's into him, not using him, into him. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's not, because there are skill sets that she's bringing to the relationship that are way more valuable than her being an income, a stable income generating machine. Because we don't expect that. Listen, there are some women who needs to be brought into a system and to be plugged into a system that's already established.
So you're talking about you're talking from a provider standpoint. You're talking from a standpoint of it's okay for somebody to need a provider. So we are saying it's okay for a woman to need a provider. There's nothing wrong with that.
A provider isn't necessarily like the woman I'm thinking about in mind.
A bad thing.
The woman I'm thinking about in mind. This girl got about 4 or 5 different hustles, but she has no direction.
Okay.
So she's valuable, meaning if something happens, she has no problem going out. I'm going to do Uber today, DoorDash tomorrow, sell this today, do that tomorrow to try to piece together some money. That's what she does. That's valuable if we go down, but she's not organized. She doesn't have a lot of focus. Now she gets a guy he's organized. He has a system. He has stable. She can come into that. She can do the business of taking care of him. She can go still figure out what she need to figure out as long as she's taking care of him.
You're going against what men are saying on here. That's something that you are going against. Because a lot of them say that we can't deal with no scatterbrain or no disorganized woman or a woman who's kind of chaotic.
You can deal with a woman who, if your system is together and she's willing to come in and play her role, which is to take care of you, and she's willing to operate within that system, it's fine. She doesn't have to see. A lot of times people are talking about these perfections. You don't necessarily need, it's a man. You don't need the woman to be who you are. Most men need a woman to come in and take care of him. Period. Whatever take care of him looks like.
Do you have any pushback on that, Triple? I want Triple to say whether you got any pushback on that.
I was waiting for you to jump in and say, "Here's the thing, TJ."
No, you two men may see something differently. I understand what TJ is saying, but I'm saying for me, I could never deal with a person like that. I need stability. I need him to be solid.
The guy is solid in the scenario he's presenting.
I'm saying, is that a good thing?
It doesn't work the other way. Like he said, I agree. It doesn't. It's not asymmetrical. I think from having these conversations up here, a lot of times we'll get to an impasse like this, and the things aren't asymmetrical. Some things are, but that's not. It's okay for me to take in a woman now and she's not working, that would be my choice. Could I afford? I got a house, car, I got everything. I can afford to do that. TJ can afford to do that. We would not recommend a woman do that.
Right.
Yeah, and I agree with him. He's right. Yeah, he hasn't said anything up here that I disagree with. Okay. He's 100% right. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm just saying, I'm responding because Darwin said in this clip that if a woman isn't like that, that's a red flag. It's a red flag if you're not looking at the woman's character. If you're looking at her character and she's a decent woman, whatever that means to you, you know what I mean? And she's willing to come in and make you her job. I can take an Uber driver. I could take a DoorDasher and Uber driver. One, because she has the damn flexibility that I need. Because I'm busy. I'm working 75 to 80 hours a week. I got my daughter. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. I can give her tasks to go do.
Okay.
I need you to do this. I need you next month. Me and my I'm taking my daughter to the Civil Rights Museum in DC. We're gonna go together. I need you to get online, find a hotel near there, book it. These are the dates. I can give her tasks to go do, and she'll go do it because she has the freedom and flexibility to do it.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm not saying like I'm not saying that this woman that I'm talking about is a space cadet. When I say doesn't have focus, I'm just saying she doesn't have a real direction. She's not good at managing the look. Okay, listen, at my day job, right? I have an administrative assistant who does all of my monthly and quarterly reports and keeps track of my calendar because I suck at it. I suck at it. That doesn't mean that on that job where I'm in a leadership role on that job, that doesn't mean that I'm not a good leadership. I need help in that area. And my assistant is invaluable to me. If it wasn't for that assistant, I almost lost my job years ago because of how disorganized I was on that job. It's not that I couldn't be organized. I hated it. I hated the organizational piece of the job.
I understand exactly what you're saying.
So this woman that I bring in, she doesn't have to be as structured as me. I got structure, and my structure is flexible enough to let her still be her within that structure.
Right.
So I can if her goal, if she's into me and willing to take care of me and willing to take care of my needs, whatever that may be, she can come in and only work DoorDash as long as she's taking care of the kid. I'm the kid. I'm just saying.
Let's finish. He got another. I think he got 2 more sections. Hold on.
Skip the step. It's too important. Now let's move on to the next point, fellas. This right here is a must. If she's serious about entering a long-term relationship with you, she needs to provide an up-to-date STI panel. This isn't about being judgmental. It's about protecting your health. Many sexually transmitted infections don't show symptoms, meaning she could unknowingly pass something to you. This step ensures you are fully informed about her sexual health before moving forward. Look, this isn't just about physical health. It's about trust and accountability. You have every right to know if there are any risks involved before you decide to be physically intimate. Whether the results come back clean or revealing an infection, at least you're making an informed decision about your future together. Some infections are manageable, while others are lifelong. That gives you the ability to assess your boundaries. Like, imagine marrying someone and finding out later that she had an STI she never disclosed. This could lead to resentment, health complications, and a breakdown in trust. By requiring an STI panel up front, you avoid unnecessary risk, ensure that both of you are starting a relationship on a foundation of honesty and transparency. Now, you're going to get some pushback from me. You shouldn't, but you got some trifling women out here, so you might get some pushback. She might say, this feels like you don't trust me. This isn't about trust. It's about being responsible. Many STIs are asymptomatic, meaning you could unknowingly contract something that could affect your health for life. It's better to be proactive than reactive when it comes to health. I'd expect the same level of accountability from myself. Now, she might say, I never had an STI, so I don't need a panel. That may be true, but neither of us can know for sure without testing. STI panels are standard practice for responsible adults. If you never had an STI, this panel will confirm that and give us both peace of mind moving forward.
Right.
Now, she might ask you, are you going to show your panel too? Absolutely. This step isn't one-sided.
Right.
I'm willing to show my own STI panel because I value transparency and accountability.
That's perfect. Of course. That should be one of the first things before you probably, I haven't been on the dating scene. I don't know. I remember me taking that panel or taking those tests after about a year or two after my husband died. I was like, okay, I'm finna take these tests and I'm gonna make sure that I'm clean and I'm healthy and I'm all of these things, right? Because I'm responsible like that. So I went and got myself tested for all of those things, and I was good. But I know a lot of people don't do that. A lot of people just jump from relationship, right? And they don't find these things out until later. So I understand this is one of the more reasonable sections of his videos. It should be handled correctly. I get it. But see, the issue is how he frames it. When testing is proof of you being worthy, I mean, is it a deal? I mean, I don't know. I don't know how to take this because
So
people
got clean
What age?
because the world has a lot of people have. I mean, if I take that Pearl person by what she said 50% of women have STD. No, not STDs, but was it herpes or something?
Herpes.
Yeah. If women have a high rate of STD, specifically black women, if they have a high rate of STD, how do you feel comfortable dating women? Are you not going to get in a relationship? You may never meet a person who doesn't have an STD. Or does it depend on what the STD is?
Can I admit something to you?
Yeah.
Well, not admit. So we know I work in a hospital setting, right?
Mm-hmm.
I work in an emergency room. Everybody that comes to the emergency room, we test them. That's part of the protocol. We test them for. Do you know how many times we got to give bad news to people?
At
least twice a week.
By bad news. What do you mean by
I call
bad
it when it's a forever thing.
I mean, well, see, I actually, read about these things and studied these things, when I first became single and studied these things, what HIV and AIDS and all of those things might be those are deal breakers. Of course, those are deal breakers for me. But a person, and maybe even herpes might be a deal breaker depending on the person.
Right.
Okay, because herpes is not. I'm not gonna die from that. You know what I'm saying?
And then most of the time, you can only pass it when you're active with the herpes.
Right. So for me, that's not a definitive. Hell no. For me, it's not, because there's ways to minimize the exposure. You know what I'm saying? It's ways to do that. So, and I'm not saying I just go out there and recklessly do those kind of things. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, if somebody came to me and disclosed that they had it, and we had been dating, but we had not been intimate, but it's a different. I would look at it differently. I would look at it a little bit differently, because I am older, and I ain't gonna die of no herpes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So,
but the big one, you can now, the person can be positive. They can take medicine to make them undetectable, and then they can also, the person that their person that they're with, their medications that prevent them from getting it.
Yeah, I heard that it was almost. I heard a question I would have: why isn't it curable then?
Because
it's a virus.
Because it's a virus.
Okay.
Because it's a virus.
Okay.
They've essentially, for lack of a better term, have cured HIV. They can't say that because it's a virus and viruses mutate.
Okay.
You understand what I'm saying? So they cannot come out and classify it as a cure. But that's why you hear them say, we can bring you undetectable. We can bring it so you can't pass it. We can give your partner one so they can't get it. They in being undetectable, believe it or not, even though that's like a thing that's been like in the last 5 to 8 years, it's been around since the 90s. That's why Magic Johnson hasn't dropped dead. But
see, here's the thing: you have all of you have. But we have
he
all
was
of
getting
these
it.
cures and
He was getting that drug when it was experimental.
Oh, okay. And so we have there's options. A person that says that they have HIV or they have herpes or whatever is not necessarily a complete off the table. Obviously, you would want to get involved with someone who might have the same thing as you, so you won't be.
No, you don't.
Well, why? Why not?
You cannot because it can make you sicker.
Oh, okay.
It can make you sicker. You
So,
don't want to
so like two people who have HIV,
especially HIV. You don't want to have two people with HIV together because it can make them sicker.
Ooh, okay. Yeah, but what about the herpes thing?
Same thing.
Okay, but I thought they had suppression.
They do, but we're talking about risks. You know what I mean?
Right.
And everybody's system is different. The last thing you want to do is put two people with a virus together because you can kill each other because your virus strand might be a little bit different than mine. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I wouldn't want to be involved if I had herpes.
Your viral strand might not be killing your T cells at the rate mine is, and I'm giving you my viral strand as well. You don't want that. I'm just talking from a medical perspective. Yes, that's why we got the suppression drugs. We can bring it undetectable, and they can make it where it's not passable.
See,
yeah,
that's where I would, if I had one, my first instinct is to only get involved with people who had it because then they could understand.
I mean, that's a logical thought process, but I'm just telling you from a medical perspective, that's not something. Why do you think when we had COVID, we separated everybody? Or forget COVID, when you got flu, influenza, we don't put people with influenza together.
Okay.
Because you might got influenza.
Know. That's something interesting. That's interesting to know. I thought it would be easier to be together.
See, you got flu A, I got flu B. So you put us together in the same damn room. I give you my flu, I get yours. Now we got two different flus. We're sicker. We can kill each other.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't know. Triple, what you say? I did not know.
This is great information coming from a medical professional.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Yeah. Because my first instinct is to run towards somebody who has the HIV. Like if I had it, or herpes, if I had it, it would be my first instinct to not date anybody unless they had HIV. Not date anybody unless they had, herpes or whatever. That's my first instinct. So you're saying, see, I don't think I would want to get involved with anybody who wouldn't have something like that. You know what I'm saying? I would be, I don't know. It's too many explanations to be had to give. And
the thing that makes it so crazy, HQ, is that we're not out here. That's the conversation we're not having. Is what each other got or don't got.
Right. Because how does a female? How did the black female, the black population, how does 50% have?
It's an estimation. It's an estimation. It's not a confirmed number. They're estimating it because of the fact that the herpes virus. Most people won't know they got it until they have an outbreak. The thing about the herpes virus, it can live in your system for 20, 30, 40 years without an outbreak. You'll never know you got it.
Right.
You'll never know you got it.
So here's my question about that. And I had a question. I'm just having a question. I'm just fleshing it out. So if you take, just for example, if you have the herpes or the HIV and you take the suppression things or whatever the suppression drugs or whatever, you may never even have an outbreak with someone ever.
Yes.
Okay.
And that'll be fine.
And then, okay. I'm just trying to figure out, even without what is it? Using protection.
Right. With herpes now, you can have herpes, have unprotected sex, and not pass it.
If you have the, I know it's a long time ago. I've seen this drug start with a V, but I can't.
I don't remember the drugs, but the herpes virus, you can pass it, but it's very low likelihood of passing it if you don't have an outbreak. You're definitely going to pass it with an outbreak.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Great
Triple?
point.
Yeah.
Oh, he's dropping some great game. Yeah, I haven't heard him say anything I disagree with. HQ, he's on it. Yeah, I think what Darwin is saying, from what I've heard from him, I haven't heard too much that's out of the ordinary. Have you said some things you disagree, TJ?
No, yeah, no.
Not that I disagree with, but he's been the last couple points.
Yeah.
Prior to this one, he's spoken absolutes. And normally I'm an absolute guy, but some things are not absolute.
Right.
Like he basically said, if a woman isn't able to financially take care of herself, then that's a red flag. As a man, I'm telling you, that's not a red flag.
Yeah, but I agree with that. For me, that's not necessarily a red flag.
Because like it depends on her character.
Right. Her character traits, and me and HQ was debating this before you came up yesterday. Her character traits is by far the most important thing. Obviously, besides being attracted to the girl and stuff like that.
Right.
But her character traits, because that's something you can work with. But if she's a liar, even a little white liar, HQ, that is an issue.
Yeah. See, I'm more of a transparent. I like to be transparent and upfront. I want to tell you all my negative stuff first. I want to tell you my negative stuff. I mean, I'm impatient when people are late. I'm a very generous, open person, and I very rarely hide things, because I have found that if you hide stuff from people, it tends to backfire on you. So I'm not to the point of being honest, to the point where I'm blunt. I only do that on here. But 9 times out of 10, how you see me explain and talk right now is how I explain and talk in real life. Like I had a conversation with my daughter, my third daughter the other day. I was like, and I said it bluntly, but I didn't mean to say it. And I said to her that I'm kind of disappointed in you, because you could be doing so much more than working in a store and blah, blah, blah. Right. And I said it, and I tried to tone it down, but I couldn't figure out. So I just said it straight up, to her. And she was like, Mom, you always talk so bluntly to me. I said, well, you're the one that is always requiring. You're the one that always requires more help than the rest.
And your daughter, I don't know nothing about her, but on that, I would tell your daughter, I would say to you, your daughter needs to be taken care of. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
She's a beautiful girl. She's a beautiful, and that's the thing. She's a beautiful girl, which is, and I you know how you see a girl and you be like, damn, that girl definitely could get somebody to take care of her. My daughter is one of those women where she could definitely get somebody to take care of her. But she's not like that. She's never like that. She's always been she's always been flighty. I want to be an entrepreneur. I want to do X, Y, and Z.
Yes. She needs somebody who will take care of her so she can go do that.
And I told her, I was like, look, I will tell you what to do, and then you do it, you be successful. And I told her when she was young, I was like, you could be a model. You're short, but you got a beautiful face, and you still got a beautiful face, but you don't want to do what I say. So anything I tell her to do, she's going to do the opposite, right? So everything I tell her to do, she's going to do the opposite, right?
Is this your youngest?
No, this is my third.
Okay.
My third, and she's something else. So she's just something else. But
hey, HQ.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Finish up. I don't mean to cut you off, baby.
Oh, no. Go ahead. You go ahead.
I'm just curious, and this is me asking,
right?
And you don't have to answer this if you don't want. But how has the dating experience been for your kids? Because all of your kids are in their 20s and 30s, right?
Dating experience? What do you mean dating experience?
I mean, how have their dating experiences gone so far? Have any of them gotten married or long-term relationships? Or I mean, how has
I have three that don't have kids, and I have two that do have kids. Two that do have kids. So my two oldest don't have kids, and then my youngest doesn't have kids. So they don't listen to me. They do what they don't listen to me. You know, I never try to tell them to do anything because
yeah, no,
not
I get that. Yeah. I'm not saying what your input is on that. I'm just saying what has happened since they've been dating. Have they? No, I was just curious if any of them had got married or if it was in multiple serious relationships or what. I was just curious.
I'll be right back, HQ.
Huh?
I'll be right back.
Okay.
I was just curious.
Yeah, I got all of them. I'm. Hey, look, they all be in relationships here and there. You know, they be in relationships here and there. My oldest son, I don't know. My second child, I don't know. My youngest kid, I don't know.
All right, that's fine. That's fine.
I don't know. See, I don't jump into they I don't jump into their shit. So this is my daughter.
No, okay. Yeah.
The one I'm always talking about.
Yeah, she looked good. You say this is your third?
Yeah, this is my third.
Okay. Okay. How old is she?
She's 32, 33.
Okay. Yeah. She look a lot younger than that too.
Yeah, she's about
you look like 25 or 26.
Yeah.
Well.
So she always giving me, changing her hair, doing that. Just honey. You could get into modeling, you can get into anything. You got a nice build, you're nice, blah blah blah. She don't want to take advantage of people. She just ain't that type person.
Well, that's a great trait for a woman to have now.
Yeah, I know. Those women. She just ain't one of them.
Right.
Okay.
That's great. That's great.
Yeah, let's keep going with Don.
Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh shit. Hold on. I meant to. Oh shit. I didn't go too far. Okay.
You said you didn't know.
We know. Hey, we know what you like.
What'd you say?
I said we know what he like.
Who is they?
We know what Darwin likes for women.
Oh yeah. Oh, for sure. Yeah. And I ain't mad at that.
I ain't mad at it. She look good. She got a nice body.
Yeah,
she's straight.
She ain't no size 18. That's for doggone. Hey, now imagine telling Darwin if he was single, he need to get with a 4.
No.
Right. Come on now.
You ain't gonna never let me live that down.
Hell no, because that was crazy talk. Hey, HQ, I wouldn't even tell you to get with a 4.
I'm saying.
Yeah, you don't tell nobody that.
I didn't mean, I meant, no, see, because on these panels, and you know it, some of these men get on these panels and say, we're going to go down in court, we're going to go down and look to get cooperation. So I was just repeating that particular thing. Not that I was just repeating that.
Yeah, that's too far down, though. And here's the thing. If you're talking about a 4, that's going to be a big girl. Because the thing is, I'm going to tell you right now, because if the girl is a size 10 or smaller, and there's nothing wrong with her face, she's not going to be below a 5. How the hell can she be a 4 or a 3? She can't. Something is amiss when you get to talking about a woman is 3 or 4.
Right.
Yeah, something is amiss. She's probably a very big girl. Like, I think you had a video up of a Kendra episode. No, it was an Ashley. And the girl, she was a big girl. She's probably like a 16, young. And she had went off to the hotel with the guy. And she had to make a break for it and all of this. And she had just met the guy. And I'm like, man, no, man. And that's what me and the Iceman, me and Big Aaron was talking about. Like, hey, this girl is desperate.
I'm just saying when men see, and that's the thing. They should not have put that on the table. That never should have been put on the table. That you all would be willing to drop your standards.
Well, it's the thing is the comment is some truth to it, but it's just not an absolute. And like TJ
not
said
all of
earlier,
y'all gonna be doing it. That's not a big thing. It's not a big thing because most men are not gonna do it.
Well, here's the thing: they're not gonna drop to no 4. Now, if you telling them they need to get a plain Jane that's a 5 or a 6, I think you may have some movement there. But if they ain't dropping to no 4 or 3. I'm sorry, HQ. Ain't no man that's grimy. It is some guys that like big girls or whatever. It's some cute big girls out there, you know. But I'm not. Don't have nothing against big women. It's just it's not my preference, and I get a lot of them that holler at me too. So yeah.
Studies have shown that one of the top reasons men cheat is because they lose desire for their partners, often because she stopped maintaining her physical appearance. Now, let's be clear. This isn't about body shaming. It's about effort. If she's actively engaging in physical activity, whether it's through a gym membership, yoga classes, or other forms of exercise, she's demonstrating that she values her health and a long-term attraction in a relationship. Pregnancy, postpartum recovery, and life changes are understandable. But unless she's medically incapable of staying fit, there's no valid excuse to not prioritize physical activity. Now, women who let themselves go physically often bring additional challenges into the relationship, such as low energy, health complications, or insecurities that strain the emotional connection. If she's already making an effort to stay active, it shows she's committed to maintaining herself, not just for her own benefit, but also for the benefit of the relationship.
I got a question. How do y'all feel about the somebody asked about this the other day. One of the people that I work with, she was because I like to, because I can find shit, because I'm a person that finds shit. She said, can you find us the weight loss shot for X, Y, and Z? So how do you feel about women who want to take the weight loss shot? Is that okay?
My take on it is this: you be aware of the health risks. What's wrong with just improving the diet and working out would be my response to that.
Okay, then I'd say I can't.
You can't. Why can't
no, I can't. It's difficult for me. I'm just saying. I'm playing devil's advocate. It's difficult for me to lose weight, and I need to lose the weight. I need to use the weight. See, I'm not even sure what the components of that is. Why does it make you lose weight? Anyway, I can't lose the weight. I need the shot. Why can't I use the shot? The shot is a good mechanism. And
I would say, okay, this is what I would say. I would say ultimately it's your decision, you know. However, please be aware of the potential side effects and or other issues this drug you're taking may cause to your body. Okay?
Right.
Yep.
That's the thing. If we've had children already, and you need to lose that extra weight, blah blah blah, and you need a little enhancement. Okay, cool. I would be okay with it. But if you a person that ain't had no kids, I kind of don't see what's going on, that you don't have the time or the opportunity to lose the weight without going through this process. You know what I'm saying? That's the way I would look at it.
I mean, HQ, do you really believe that though? I understand.
And what if you don't have any kids, you shouldn't be that big? Of course, I believe that.
Oh, okay. I'm getting a little lost here. Yeah. So what are you saying? Like, if they don't have kids, or what are you saying?
I'm saying if you're young and you don't have no kids, why do you need to fool with a chemical when a chemical is for somebody that has gotten stuck with the weight loss? They've tried everything and some people just can't lose that belly.
Yeah.
They had kids and they just can't lose that belly. Feel what I'm saying? But you ain't had no kids.
Yeah.
Look, I mean, try the natural way if you ain't had no kids. Don't just automatically go to no chemicals. I understand somebody got stubborn. You got stubborn love handles, but somebody who don't have no stubborn love handles and they ain't had no kids, look, what's going on?
No, I agree with you. You cooking, HQ. I like this version.
I can't see that part because we can all do better. And then again, I ain't there and I can't say yes or no.
Don't settle for
that would be my first instinct. You're young, you can do it, blah blah blah. And you got time. You ain't got no kids holding you back from hitting that gym.
Right.
And a gym membership only costs you $25. Stop it.
Yeah.
Okay? $25 ain't that much money. You can scrap up 20. You can go and donate blood and get $25.
That's all I'm saying.
That's all I'm saying. Let's go.
It's pretty easy to do. And I've seen a lot of girls do it.
And that's all you gotta do is get outside your door and start and walk down the block. Walk down the side of your street, walk back. That's all you got. That starts your exercise every day. Walk down the block, come back. Do it every day.
Yeah.
Let's continue.
someone who doesn't value these things. Let's move on to the next point. Fellas, now, this might seem like a small thing, but a woman who knows how to cook demonstrates nurturing qualities that are essential in a long-term relationship. At the very least, she should be able to bring 3 solid recipes to the table. 3. Cooking isn't just about feeding you. It's about showing effort, care, and a willingness to contribute to the household. In today's society, many women are learning how to twerk before they learn how to cook.
Oh, heck, no. What is we watching? Triple.
Let it play, baby.
I'm embarrassed. That's why I stopped it. Oh my
God. Dang.
By requiring this skill, you set her apart from the majority.
Hey, all them girls have body though.
That's crazy.
Hey, I don't know, man. They giving you competition in the derriere department.
Yeah, but that's the whole point is that's embarrassing. They learning how to twerk faster than they learn how to cook.
Yeah, that's sad. That's sad. But I remember the big debate. A lot of y'all girls was saying that y'all had a sex with the guy before cooking for him.
No, of course, because sex is not as intimate as cooking.
What?
Yes.
Get out of here. All right. Now I didn't heard it all.
Sex is not as intimate as cooking.
How can it not be, HQ?
What do you mean?
Hold on. What are we talking about here? Are you serious, HQ?
I'm absolutely.
You said sex, intimacy, sex. The actual act of sex is not as intimate as cooking?
No.
Cooking? So wait a minute. Let me get this straight. So you're saying if, let's say, for example, I came down there and you was like, hey, Triple, I see you down here and, wherever you I know you're down south. You're down here hanging out, whatever. You should come through. I'm going to cook something for you. That's more intimate than you having intercourse with a guy?
Yes, it is.
No. I want to hear TJ's opinion when he comes back about that. For real. Because that is wild. That's one of you just said some wild stuff over here before, but that's one of the ones.
I'm saying.
I'm listening.
I'm saying. When people, sex is, how do I
see? This is the thing, HQ.
How do I
didn't have people over here, like just people I'm cool with. I done made breakfast. Like, how on earth could that be more intimate than sex? Okay. A woman is super vulnerable during sex. Like, that's crazy statement.
No, she's just physically vulnerable.
She's vulnerable top to bottom during sex. Top to bottom, she's vulnerable. She's vulnerable in every way during sex. There's no way there's no way cooking is more intimate than sex.
This statement makes the cooking for someone is more intimate than sex.
That's wild. That's wild.
And the statement makes people uncomfortable because we're trained to think that intimacy equals sex.
No, well, HQ.
Intimacy is not about bodies and bodies alone. Intimacy is about repetition, care, and vulnerability, and responsibility over time. Sex can be intimate.
It is intimate. Sex is intimate, baby. Yes.
Because you men have sex. You men have sex without having any kind of feeling. So it's not intimate. It's not.
I'm gonna say this. No, hold on. If they ain't attracted, they ain't having the sex. Okay? So there's something there. Because you can't even get it up. It's something there. How you gonna get it up?
So
how you gonna get it up?
Men can have sex.
How you gonna get it up? AQ, let's pause this to TJ come back. Let's pause it to TJ come back. That's a ridiculous statement, but let's pause it till he come back.
No, it ain't. It's an apt statement. Y'all just don't like to hear it.
Yeah, I want to hear what he got to say about it. That's wild.
You all just don't like to hear it.
No, it doesn't make any sense.
It makes absolutely
sense. Because
you're like most people. You think sex is equated with intimacy.
Well, HQ, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna call your bluff. Starting tomorrow, every woman I'm cool with, I'm gonna ask her that. Okay, and then I'm gonna report back. And I'm gonna break it down.
I can look. I am able to distinguish between.
Well, HQ, I'm gonna give you your due. Yeah, I'm gonna give you your due because you're saying that's a woman's perspective. I'm gonna act starting tomorrow.
No.
I'm gonna ask why not?
Perspective. I'm not saying that. I'm saying for me,
because I never heard it before.
The distinction. Sex can be intimate. Sex can be intimate. It makes people
the thing is
they are trained. You're trained to think of intimacy equaling sex, and sex does not always.
How can it be? No, HQ. Look, this is a preposterous statement.
Oh, you think of it as preposterous?
It is
It's a normal. It's a normal thing.
See, just as preposterous as me being a trillionaire. That's
sex can happen once. Sex can happen one time. Cooking is something that happens every day on a daily basis, something that we need to do. Sex can be a moment between two human beings. Cooking is a routine. Sex does not have to be intimate, but cooking is intimate. When somebody cooks for you regularly, they are entering a day-to-day, everyday life.
Nobody. We didn't say annually or regularly. Like that's not what's being said here.
What do you mean?
To imply no, because we approached this conversation because it's an older conversation. It was approached from the position of dating. Anyway, if you're dating a guy, there's no way. So, because obviously at this point, if you're dating him and there's multiple dates, you like the guy.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's no way that cooking.
You trying to tell me what a woman can do, and I'm telling you.
All right, you're right. I'm gonna ask the women tomorrow. I'm gonna ask them tomorrow. You're right about that.
And I told you, I am a different woman.
Okay. Well, HQ, you got to give me an out. You got to give me an out here. Because you're conceding and saying it's a woman's perspective, and I'm saying fair enough. Let me consult with women tomorrow, and then you're saying, that's my position.
I'm saying it's my position. I'm saying if you look at it from a bug under a microscope point of view, you would see what I'm talking about. But what else? You're like most people.
Well, no, you're saying it's a woman's perspective. So I'm saying, what else can I really do? I'm not a woman.
I'm saying it's my
only thing I can do is ask them.
I'm saying it's my perspective. under
That's fine. That's
the bug under the Microsoft, the bug under the microscope point of view.
Yeah,
I don't look at it emotionally. I'm looking at
I
it.
get it. I get it. You said you can separate the two like a lot. Like I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. It's your take. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm not up here wagging my finger. I said it sounds very wild to me. Is what I'm saying.
And a lot of people
that's all I'm saying.
And when people hear it, they're
sounds
like,
"Wow, but,
whoa, what is she talking about?" Because
hold on, let me go in and come out because I can't hear you. Hold on, baby.
Okay. I think TJ left too. I think TJ dropped out too. I mean, it's a wild perspective to people. Sex can happen one time, like I told him, but cooking for a person happens every day. So sex can be only in a moment. Okay, sex can happen in a moment.
Well, yeah,
because routine.
Yeah, I think the thing is, a lot of the women are probably gonna respond and say, "Hey, if I don't have feelings and I'm not trying to be intimate, I'm not gonna have sex with him." So how could the cooking supersede that? That's probably what a lot of
most people have, because most people have feelings. Most people can have feelings and have sex or not have it.
So they, in a lot of cases, I'm sure they probably will disagree, but I'm gonna be fair and ask them. And no, I'm not a woman. I don't know. That's what I'm gonna ask them.
It's not a woman or a man thing. That's what I'm trying to explain.
Well,
to you.
you said it's wrong.
But I corrected myself. And said it's my thing. It's something I understand that can be done. A lot, as I told you, people think sex is intimate. Sex can be intimate, but cooking is intimate.
Why does cooking have to be intimate? Because I'm asking this because like my mom,
cooking is a routine.
She cooks sometime when I come over there and I don't live with her anymore. Is it intimate? You know, yeah. I'm trying to
cooking for somebody is intimate. Cooking for somebody is intimate. Cooking
HQ. I don't know.
Cooking
I really just don't know if that's the case. You know, it's been people. Who come. Go ahead.
Cooking is intimate. It's your care and concern to put food together, sustenance together to feed to another person. Cooking is an intimate act.
This is my thing.
Sex can be an intimate act, but it can be an intimate moment, but it's not inherently a intimate moment. It can be intimate, but it's not necessarily intimate all the time. But cooking is intimate. It's intentional. It's an intentional.
So the lunch ladies, when we was in high school,
you know what I'm saying.
It's cooking.
You know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying.
It's cooking. Is the people who hold on, the people who do the cooking in jail for the prisoners, is it intimate?
Yeah,
like I'm trying to get where you're going.
It's still an intimate thing. It's still an intimate thing.
Yeah, so yeah, like because it's
but
so
see,
many
you equate sex with intimacy. That's the problem.
Most people do. Most people do.
And I'm saying I don't, because you have because people have sex with prostitutes.
Yeah,
people have sex with people that they don't like. People have sex with all kinds. So no, you cannot say sex is intimate because you have sex with prostitutes. You have sex with whatever.
I get that, but see, this is the thing. You're not a prostitute.
Men they're not attracted to all the time.
You're not a prostitute, and the people I'm gonna ask this question isn't a prostitute.
Right.
So that's off the table, unless you're telling me something I don't know.
No, but
you're not a prostitute. So
you're making it sound as though sex being intimate is sex. Sex is intimate. You're making it sound like sex is intimate for everyone. No, it's not. That's what
I didn't say it was intimate for everybody.
Okay, so my point of view is not weird. It's just not.
No, it's very weird. It's very weird. Like I'll be honest with you.
Because I take my clothes off doesn't mean it's intimate. That's the thing. Maybe that's the way I should have said it. Well, just because a person takes their clothes off and have sex, that doesn't make it intimate.
HQ, I'm one of the fairest people that ever comes up on your panel, but this is one of the more egregious HQ comments / debates.
I can't help it that I'm evolved in that way. I can't help it.
I don't know. Yeah,
cooking requires thinking.
It's above my head. I
mean, because there's levels to this particular thought, and I can't help it. Y'all stuck at that sex is intimate portion. I am
no. I know that's not always the case. I've already owned that. It's prostitutes. It's all type of situations. Okay. However, you're not a prostitute. The reality is you was a woman that were married for 30 years. Okay. So this is not really your playground like that. You know what I'm saying? Respectfully.
I can look at it like a bug under a microscope.
Yeah, I've never heard a woman say that. And I've had extensive conversations with women, and I've heard women say, you know, if I don't like him, I'm not cooking for him, et cetera, and I get that. But to just be like me giving up the JJ, you know, is equating that to cooking. That's wild, man.
So let me try to explain it to you like this.
Go ahead.
Sex is a physical intimacy. Cooking is an emotional intimacy.
It's still
without having. Hey man, hold on, I'm not done.
Go ahead.
This level of thought, cooking is a level of emotional intimacy, not a physical. If you're on a dating thing, you're dating somebody, and you say, and then they give you the question, would you have sex with somebody before you cook for somebody? I would say, and I did say, I probably would have sex with the person first before I would cook for a person, because sex is not as intimate. Sex is a physical intimacy more than it is a mental intimacy, because you can check out on a physical intimacy. Everybody can check out on a physical intimacy. Okay. On a cooking level.
Go ahead.
The thought is an emotional intimacy. It's not a physical act, it's an emotional thing mostly. I'm cooking for you. I like to cook for you. What do you like to eat? What you don't like to eat? Are you tired today? Do you need it? There's thoughts that go into cooking intimately cooking for a person that you like or you're dating. Physically, I don't have to go through all of those changes and those processes when we're physically intimate. We just have to be in the same room and want to get naked. One is more intimate than the other. So yes, I would think cooking is more intimate than sex. To me,
HQ, it's a lot. Hold on. Wait a minute. That's ridiculous. It's a lot that goes into even before the sex happens.
No.
Like, yeah. A guy gonna have to do some finessing, some talking. It ain't about to be just you going out and then the woman like, hey, let's go back and have sex. It don't happen like that. That's not how it happens, HQ. Is that what you do? I mean, I don't know what you do.
There's all types of human beings on this.
It is, but that's
do the
not
same
how,
thing, and we don't
not
think
how it happens. I've been dating. I'm in my 40s. I've been dating since my teens. I've been on too many dates to think about.
Okay,
it has never happened like that, HQ.
I see that you are emotional when it comes to sex.
No.
Because you don't know how to separate your emotions. You don't know how to separate your emotions from
HQ. What I'm telling you is that sex has never happened like that. Okay.
Sex has never happened like what? What do you mean?
It's
people have sex without having emotions all the time. Men do it all the time. What do you mean?
Let me know when I can talk. Go ahead.
You're saying untrue things. You men have gotten on this panel every goddamn day talking about you can have sex without emotion, that you can have sex and not feel a thing. So yes, my theory is right, that sex is not an intimate thing. It's just a physical thing. You men have backed me up in that regard. What are you talking about? You say all the time, men can have sex without having feeling. This is what I'm saying. That's why it's not intimate. It's not intimate to men, according to men. What do you mean? You saying something else?
Let me know when I can talk.
Go ahead.
HQ, what you're ignoring is the fact of what needs to be put in to have the sex. You don't just go out with a woman and then on the second date, y'all hanging and she like, hey, let's go back and have sex. That's not how sex happens. I've been dating women since my teens. It has never happened like that. That's not how it happens. There's gonna be a lot of wordplay, connection, etc. that going. Hold on. That the man is gonna have to put in. That's part of the intimacy. What you're trying to do is erase all of that game that's put in. That's part of the intimacy, and just fast forward to sex. And the reality is, it never happens like that for men.
Oh, so men get up here and lie about them having intimate feelings for the way it's intimate for them when they have sex. So they got to be lying.
And here's the thing: in 90% of cases, the man likes the woman that he's having sex with. So that should tell you all you need to know.
So they was lying.
In 90% of cases, men likes the women they're having sex with. You ain't catching me up because
you explaining it because you said because men get on like Black America say we don't give a fuck about you when we can have sex with you and blah blah blah. So
no thing like don't get it conflated. Those women that he might be sleeping with, he likes those women though. That's the thing. Black ain't struggling for women. The women he's messing with, he likes the girls. He'll tell you that.
Well, I don't know who to believe now because I was trying to put it in. I was trying to put it into I was trying to contextualize it to the level of what Black said. So if what Black says is true, then my theory is correct. Okay, but you saying it's not
no
true.
Because the thing is you erase the gamemanship and the connection that's needed to have the sex. The sex never happens just like I explained. It's more to it that has to happen before the sex happens.
No, you're talking about Rome. You're talking about something that's not you're talking about
how can you tell me what my experience
you're talking about the emotional part.
But
HQ
HQ
an emotional thing. Sex is not an
HQ, I'm not talking HQ. How can you tell me what my experience has been? I'm telling you what has happened. I've been dating women and I'm telling you what has happened and transpired. It has never been a scenario where early on you just met the girl and they like, hey, this has been a dope second date. Let's go back and have sex. It never, and you've never had sex with them, it never happens like that.
And
never.
I said that you don't know how to separate the physical from the emotional.
You can separate it all you want. It's not going to happen like that.
And it's physical. The emotional intimacy is
part of the sex.
You
though.
don't have
You can't get the sex without that emotional investment.
Yes,
you can't get it. You
Yes,
can't
you
get
can.
it. Yeah, if you pay for it, you can.
If
you pay for it, you can get it.
Definitively said you can have sex without any kind of emotion. So now you lying.
If you pay for it, if you pay for it, you can have it that way. If you pay for it, you can have it that way.
Which one of
you
y'all?
have an understanding? No. If you pay for it, you have an understanding. You can have it that way. Otherwise, it's not going to happen like that.
So why? So then men are lying then.
I don't know what men you're talking about.
Oh,
okay?
you know what? You know how Black America expresses.
I don't watch.
Everybody knows how
you mentioned a lot of these panels. A lot of these people I don't watch. And here's the thing. Even in real life, it's a lot of men I disagree with now. So I don't know what to tell you.
That on every panel you run up against, we don't have to have emotion to have sex. We can have sex without any emotion. We get up and we'll forget post nut clarity. So if post nut clarity is a thing, then what I'm telling you is a thing.
You still have to get to the point of having sex. So how you gonna get
not
there?
The physical part.
How are you gonna get? How are you gonna go? Hold on. How are you gonna go from taking her to the art museum to taking her to ice cream to getting her naked in the room, how is that going to happen? Now I'm asking you, how does it happen?
You can have closeness. You can have physical closeness without.
Yeah, but how does it happen though? Because
I don't know. I don't know how that happens.
Hold on. It ain't gonna happen without words. It ain't gonna happen without words. How is it gonna happen?
But that still doesn't mean you're intimate with that.
No, it ain't gonna happen without words, and those words are gonna.
Words don't have to be intimate.
Those words are gonna elicit feelings in that woman.
No,
okay.
That words.
Yes. If the word without words, that scenario I just explained to you ain't gonna happen.
But it
ain't gonna happen.
Not every person. Not every person has a word. Not every person invokes a word. Words do not invoke emotions in everybody. They just.
How are you gonna get back to the room? Can you explain it? How you gonna get there?
That doesn't mean it's intimate.
How are you going to get there?
It is just a physical transaction.
How are you going to get there? How are you going to get to the point of being able to have sex? How are you going to get there?
You're not listening to what I'm saying.
You're not listening to what I'm saying.
You don't know how to separate your emotions from your body.
No.
You don't know how to separate your emotions from your body. I do.
HQ, if I'm wrong and you're right, explain to me, how are you going to get there?
I want to go have sex.
That ain't gonna work.
I want to go have sex.
No, what you're saying?
Do you honestly believe?
No, that's not.
You honestly believe if a woman went into a club and a woman told, and she was reasonably attractive, and she went in and she said, "I want to have sex," she can't get sex?
No. How is it gonna work for the man? I'm not talking about the woman. How's it gonna work for the man? No. It's not gonna work that way.
But same thing for a man.
Listen, a woman, you're not HQ. You're not gonna go out with a date. Hold on. You're not gonna go out on a date. Go ahead, finish up, because I want to explain this.
I'm saying you don't know how to separate your body from your emotions.
No.
Anybody can have sex. You don't have to be intimate to have sex. You just have to be physically available. That doesn't require intimacy.
Okay.
Doesn't require intimacy.
Okay.
You just have to be physically present. Intimacy isn't about physical present. It's just a transaction physically. If I don't care about you, you don't care about me, it's a physical thing. That's it. If you want me to cook for you, that means I have to concern myself about what you want to eat, how you want to eat, how you want to do it. I don't have to concern myself about jack shit when we're having sex. That's all I have to do is take my clothes off. That's it. That's not in and of itself a intimate thing. That's all I'm saying. It can be intimate, but it's not completely in totality an intimate thing. That's all I'm saying. It can be intimate. That's all. You just got to look at it from a bug under the glass standpoint, and I do. That's all.
Go ahead. Finish or go ahead.
I'm done.
Okay, I disagree with you. The reality is, from a man's perspective, I asked the question again. How are you going to date a girl and go from art museum, movie theater, ice cream to you guys naked in that room? How is that transaction going to go? How are you going to get to that point? And I'm going to tell you right now, I'm not going to let you give me the answer that you're going to put your arm around her and say, hey, let's go have sex. That ain't going to work. So how are you going to do it?
You got to ask. That's something you got to ask TJ and Black.
Yeah, because you're right. And I already know because I'm not new to this. The reality is there will be an emotional investment on that woman's behalf that you're going to have to feed into. Hold on.
You're talking about the man.
You know what? I got it.
You're talking about the man. You said you were coming from the man's perspective. Don't speak for the woman. Speak for the man.
I am speaking for the man. So what the man is going to invest is going to get that reaction from the woman.
Can you have a physical relationship with a woman without being intimate with her?
HQ, you're going to get that reaction from that investment to the woman. Yes. You got to. Otherwise, she's not gonna get naked.
Keep avoiding.
No guy has ever dated HQ and was out on the second day and said, "Hey, let's go back and have sex." And it worked.
You.
All right. So
that's all I got to say about it. Female. You're talking about a female's response. I said you men have been on these panels for the past couple of years saying you can have sex without being intimate. You can have sex and go home. And
Did I say it? Did I say it?
But we're talking about the bulk of men. We're not talking about the exception. We're not talking about you. We're talking about the bulk of men have been on these panels. Every time you turn around, they say we can have sex without having any emotion.
Who is these men? Who is these men? Because I haven't heard
every panel. Ali, Patty, you name it, they say it.
Yeah.
You're saying something different from what they're
saying.
No,
actually, I'm not. And I think what you're missing here is that it's an emotional investment from the woman.
But we're not talking about the women. I'm talking to you as the man.
What you're doing
about women?
I'm telling
you,
HQ. What's gonna be said and put into that woman is gonna get that response. I don't know why you're missing that.
No, because you keep telling me about women. I'm talking about men.
I'm telling you,
men.
HQ. How do the woman even get wet? What are we talking about? And she's wet before the sex.
We're not talking about women. We're talking about men.
What are you talking about? Like, what are we talking about?
I'm saying.
So it's like,
it's not true that men can have sex. No, it's not true that men can have sex without feelings. So that's not true. All the men who be saying that is a lie.
HQ.
I'm asking you that. All the men on the panel
answered the question. I want to answer to my question.
No. Answer it again. What do they say?
My question ain't been answered first.
No. I'm saying, what question? I have already told you I am on the man's side. I understand the man's side. Anybody can have sex and it not be intimate. I have said that. My position is clear. You haven't convinced me that my position is not clear.
I'm going to ask the question again. How do you think the man goes from those dates to the woman going back and getting naked on that second or third date? How do you think that happens, HQ? What do you think the guy needs to do or does for that to happen?
If he doesn't care, then he probably would lie.
No, okay. Go ahead, keep going.
That doesn't mean that doesn't mean that he has feelings.
Okay.
That doesn't mean that he thinks the relationship is intimate. That doesn't mean
wait a minute. If he lies, why has he lied? What is he trying to do by lying?
I think you asking the wrong question. It's not.
No, I'm asking the right question. What is it? What reaction is he trying to get by lying?
You're asking the wrong question because
what is he trying to get by lying?
But we're not talking about access. Anybody can have access to a body.
No.
Even if you talk to her,
no.
You talk to her nice,
it's opening a woman up.
But see, hold on. Even if you give her nice and flowers and talk crazy to her, you're still having a sexual relationship, or you still want to have a sexual relationship with her. That still doesn't mean that it has to be intimate. It could just be physical. I'm
gonna say this. I'm gonna say this. I think we should agree to disagree. Like, I'm not going to.
We need a bigger panel. You need to put this on a thumbnail.
No, I think so because I don't think you're getting the gist of the question I'm asking.
No, I absolutely got it. You don't see where I'm at.
No, I just think we on this particular subject we just agree to disagree. You know, I don't. Yeah, that's all I can say about it.
I get it. You ain't there. You ain't there. You just think sex is intimate.
HQ, it must be way over my head. It's way over my head. Intellectually, it must be in outer space.
Because if you can't see that sex is not inherently intimate, I don't know what to say.
My thing is, we agree to disagree. You know, I'm not gonna be able to convince you. I'm not going to be able to convince you otherwise, and you're never going to answer wholeheartedly the question I asked. So
yeah, because you keep bringing it back to how we got a man has to manipulate a woman to get her into bed. That's not the question. That's not the question at all. That has nothing. What he needs to do in order to get her into the bedroom has nothing to do with it.
What you're ignoring though is the reaction that he's going to get from that manipulation. So, but I'm gonna leave it there. We agree to disagree.
But is that intimacy? That's not intimacy. That's just feeling. That's not intimacy. Intimacy is something different. You're not asking the question about intimacy. You're talking about the physical closeness. And physical closeness can be there, and we can have sex all day long.
Do me a favor. Do me a favor. Define intimacy.
It's a intimacy is a emotional closeness.
Oh, so closeness. Okay.
Emotional, not physical.
Yeah, an emotional response and closeness. Yeah,
no.
I got it.
Physical is a physical. Sex is a physical.
No, I said emotional. I said emotional response.
Now, I'm saying to you,
closeness,
cooking,
emotional.
And I'm saying to you, cooking is more of an intimate thing than sex. I'm not saying sex is not intimate. I'm saying
you just said it wasn't intimate. So what's yours?
You didn't listen to what I said. What I said was sex is not complete intimacy. It can be intimacy, but it's not completely intimacy. That's what I said. Cooking is an intimate act. When you're doing something for somebody and you're dating and you're cooking for them, you're trying to figure out how they feel, why they would respond the way they would if you cooked X, Y, and Z. You don't do that in a physical, sexual way. You can be intimate in a physical way sexually, but it's not intimate in itself. That's what I'm saying. But cooking is way more intimate. For me, cooking is way more intimate because I have to care, bring thought into it, figure out what you like, want to see you pleased, want to see X, Y, and Z. In a sexual relationship, that's not necessarily the case. And most men on these panels keep saying the same thing, but you're saying something different. So, I don't know. That's all I'm saying.
No.
You're saying something different. I fucked up his head.
No.
What? Let's listen to Darwin. We almost done.
Brings value not only to you, but also to your future children by providing home-cooked meals and maintaining a healthier household overall.
Yes.
A woman who can't cook will create unnecessary financial strain by relying on eating out, and she'll miss an opportunity to bond with you and your family over meals.
Mm-hmm.
Cooking is a basic life skill that every adult woman should master. If she doesn't have it, she's missing an important piece of what it takes to build a well-rounded family. Now, you're going to get some pushback that says, if you want meals, cook them yourself. I have no problem cooking, but marriage is about teamwork. If I'm handling certain roles, I expect you to handle others. A woman who can't or won't contribute in this way is creating an imbalance in a relationship. Now, she might say, this feels like control. Why does this matter so much? This isn't about control. It's about setting standards. Cooking is one of the most basic ways to show care and effort in a relationship.
Right.
If you can't bring this to the table, what's that to say about the effort you're willing to put into the family dynamic? A woman who values these things will understand why this step matters. Don't compromise on this. It's an essential skill for a successful family dynamic. At the end of the day, a woman who knows how to cook brings value, stability, and care into the relationship. If she can't meet this basic standard, she's not ready for the responsibility of building a family with you. Fellas, these 14 things aren't just about setting standards. They're about protecting your peace, your purpose, and your future family. Women who value herself, her health, her responsibilities, and her spiritual alignment will have no issue meeting these requirements. But if she resists, deflects, or makes excuses, she's showing you exactly why she's not the one. The dating market in 2025 isn't for the faint of heart. Leadership starts with you. And that means holding yourself and the woman you vet to the highest standards. Don't apologize for setting the bar high. Now, if she made it this far, I'm assuming she brought all these things to the table. Lucky you. But there's a huge problem. Most men make the mistake of walking straight to the altar after they checked off this list and end up being divorced because they either didn't know or ignored the biggest mistakes men make in a relationship. So because I want you to succeed, I made this video so you can make sure you never make these mistakes.
Well, what do you think about his little rules? Okay.
I mean, a lot of the stuff I agree on.
He's pretty good.
Yeah. He's saying some good stuff. I think overall he said some good stuff. He was off about that woman though. Like, if you know your woman is not entirely like that, you know, and I say this with respect because I like Bruiser for the you know, with all due respect. I ain't trying to diss him, but. You know,
that video that DJ gave is wild.
Cool. That's his wife. He's married. I would never comment on another man's wife. But that's
wild though.
And if I heard him correctly say, if a woman dressed a certain way, she for the streets, we got to be careful with that. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, why you say that? Wait a minute.
I lost your audio again. I'm gonna come right back.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, come back. Okay, this final message with Darwin is clear. If men enforce these standards strict enough, relationships will succeed. But that sounds appealing, but real life does not work like that. Divorce does not happen because men fail to police women hard enough. That's not how that goes. Relationships fail because of poor communication, money, unresolved trauma, power struggles, lack of empathy, all kinds of unrealistic expectations, mostly unrealistic expectations and money on both sides. But leadership should not be enforcement. I mean, leadership is responsibility. I get that. It should be humbly thrown out there, and it should be consistent. I get. So when relationships are built on fear and compliance and surveillance, that don't bode well for the relationship because it produces a lot of resentment. But it is what it is. Look, vetting people should help you understand people better, not to control another person. So if you demand discipline, you should do it. If you demand accountability, you should give it. Relationships ain't going to succeed because a person is enforcing rules. You know, these are two adults that are making choices every day, right? And if you're not making choices, but you're trying to lord over another human being,
well, certain boundaries have to be enforced sometime, though, because, like you say, you would know better, but it's other women out there that will put on a dress like that pastor did, and the guy may have to snatch him up. Like, that has happened before, I'm sure. TJ said he had to cut a dress off of a woman. So a man's instruction is important, though. It can't be understated either.
Yeah, it's important, but you got to know when it's necessary, when it's due, because sometimes a man may fall in love with a woman, and that woman may be a free spirit. That woman may know the boundaries of a relationship, but she might be a free spirit, and he might, it's all about finding the right person that's willing to do what you got to do. Like a person that comes in with me, and a person says to me, well, I don't celebrate. I don't, this is something I don't know. I've already fallen in love with the person, but I don't know this. So the person says to me, oh, by the way, and we fell in love. We got together. It's the beginning of the year. We together. And Thanksgiving rolls around. Christmas rolls around. And this person says, you're under my leadership, but we don't celebrate Christmas. How am I supposed to take that when I celebrate Christmas?
I think that's an extreme, because I say this: you should, when you're in the dating phase, you should see what somebody's religious beliefs are in advance. And if you're dating a guy and he doesn't have Christian beliefs or something, you need to ask him specific questions about his thoughts on holidays and other things. That's my thought. So you should never been with that guy in the first place. So I would say that's the woman's fault.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah,
but it's hard, but it's like that's the beauty of trying to be to be upfront with somebody. You should be upfront with a person about all things about yourself, and then lead to the then it should lead to questions if you have more questions. Like you tell me you're 35, then that's something I'm not going to question because you said you're 35. But if you say I'm a Hindu, of course that deserves follow through. That deserves following up. What does that mean? Are you a practicing Muslim? Are you a practicing blah blah blah? And what does that practice mean for somebody that you might fall in love with, somebody you want to marry? Well, I got to put a chastity belt on you if we get married, and that means getting a lock on your pussy. Obviously, I'm not going through with it because that's something I'm not willing to do. See, so these are things that you got to follow up on. What does that mean? Does that mean that I have to wear a hijab? A hijab? Does that mean I got to wear a full over if you're Muslim?
Yeah, again, those are questions a woman should be asking in the dating phase. You know, and if you're not asking those things in the dating phase, then that's on you.
But see, I found that people on here, when they get to saying, I want X, Y, and Z in relationships, they really don't mean it because real life jumps in the way. Real life jumps in the way. And sometimes if you're not willing to, most people, real life jumps in the way. We can look at the case of Darwin and his wife. Real life jumped in the way. Your wife is not a person that your wife likes to show skin. Let's put it that way. Your wife likes to show skin. So how is it that you're having a conversation with women on the internet and you're saying women shouldn't like to show skin, but you're the woman that you're intimate with, that you put a ring on, that you said I do to, likes to show skin? This would be a problem. So I'm saying a lot of people, life happens to people, and the things that they say don't line up with the things that they try to preach to other people.
Here's the thing with that Darwin situation, and I'm gonna give you the real as a man.
Mm-hmm.
She was like that when he met her.
Yeah.
And she has continued to be like that.
Right. That's why he said you ain't got no choice.
Right. Exactly. Now, what he's done is he's kicking a lot of good game that sounds good, and a lot of that stuff is solid, good general advice. However, what he's saying is some truth to it, but that's not exactly how it is at his house. So that's just what it is, but she's been like that. She ain't just started dressing like that. I could tell.
Yeah, because she's very if you're comfortable with, you comfortable with that, that like the minister's wife wearing that dress, she's comfortable wearing that dress, which tells me she does that in other ways outside of that particular place that they went to. She's used to wearing clothing where her body is being shown. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. Some men love for their women to get out there and be having, look at Kanye.
Right.
See what I'm saying? Some men love for their women to get out there and be naked. So you can't say every man don't like that. A lot of men like that shit. You can't touch it.
Yeah, a lot of men would like for their woman to dress like that lady did.
Right. So absolutely. I'm not gonna beat Darwin up for that because he's a typical.
I'm not gonna beat him up either. But I can see why the guys went after him.
Yeah, well, I can see why. I can see that. You know what I'm saying? But I can say as a human being, I could say this is what he liked. This is what turns him on.
Yeah. He like a sexy chick that's dressed.
He likes other people to see his woman. He likes other people. He may like other people looking at his woman. So you know what I'm saying? So it is. I ain't gonna be mad at you. And she likes to wear them kind of clothes. You don't get with that person and not know they like to be half naked on the internet. You know what I'm saying? He knew that before he married that girl. Yep,
exactly.
So he takes a he's gonna take the repercussions of it. See,
Yep.
Cooley on the other hand,
You still talking about Cooley? Go ahead.
but damn, he was
Go
just
ahead,
his
baby.
shit was just. It ain't like it's not like Darwin. Darwin is just one facet. You know what I'm saying? His is just one facet. He married this woman. Da 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 da. Cooley, on the other hand, everything about what he was doing was a lie. Everything about what he was doing is a lie, and that's where his hypocrisy drives me nuts. But it's okay. It's okay. Okay, do your thing or do your thing. Okay, but be a little bit more upfront and honest when you do this thing. Give me your final thoughts. What the hell is wrong with your damn internet?
Who internet?
Yours.
Why you say that?
It sounds like it's a all the way through it.
Do it still sound like that?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I don't know. That's weird. That's weird.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Final thoughts.
I told you I'm up here at 8:00 every night.
Okay, I'll be back. I'll be back. Yeah.
We need to figure out how to get more. I need to figure out how to get more people over here so we can have that conversation.
Yeah, you gotta advertise it, baby. Like
I did. I put it on the community wall. I put it on both.
No, you gotta make a video about it. The community wall, people don't check that. Like I didn't see it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
okay.
you got to make a short video and say, hey, we still rocking and rolling and all of that. Yeah, you ask them that. You're gonna be quite surprised about what you get. If you think brothers is going,
no, I should make a video. I'm finna make a video. I'm finna make a video about. I'm gonna make a video about the subject. I'm gonna say
cooking more intimate than.
I'm gonna say it's cooking more intimate than blah blah blah, blah 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 on HQ Connect channel. We're gonna have a discussion, a panel. Blah 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 at 8:00. Show up if you want to have an intimate discussion about sex over cooking, or cooking over sex, or sex over cooking.
Man, the HQ too funny, man.
We probably gonna do. Let's do it. I'll do it Friday night. That way it'll give me a chance to advertise, and then Friday night we'll be hopefully.
Oh man, I can't wait for that. I might have to cancel a date to go come to that.
No, don't do that. But I'm saying it'll probably be Friday, and then I'm gonna advertise tomorrow and then Wednesday. But I'm still coming tomorrow at 8:00.
Okay. All right, I like it. I'm glad you're back. I'm gonna pull up for sure. I appreciate it. Great panel, very entertaining. I love it. Great job.
Yes, we got to get into the algorithm. That's the whole point.
Yeah.
Okay? We had more people tonight than we did yesterday. So, hey,
we moving. We moving, baby.
Thank you, sir.
Have a good one.
All right. Hello, everybody. I thank you. I appreciate you showing up. 1 person, 2 person, 3 person, 4. We just got to get into the algorithm. We got to do what we got to do. This is HQ Connect, where we have subjects. We're going sooner as we get people coming in and people wanting to be on the panel, because this is the beginning of the channel. We are going to, have panels, and we're going to have 1 question panels, 2 question panels, and then we're going to have discussions. And so as we build, this is what we're doing. This is how intimate we're going to be. I appreciate you showing up. I will be back tomorrow at 8:00, and we will have another video that we will go through, and then we will have a discussion. I appreciate you coming out. I appreciate you seeing you. I appreciate you. Please like, share, and subscribe. Please and thank you. This is HQ Connect. Please and thank you. We will be back here tomorrow. Please and thank you. Please and thank you.